cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. No more. Black and white, just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Just let me go. It's only right. For all I know, it's only matter. It's calico, it's black and white. White, white, white. Black and white. Yeah. Black and white. Oh. 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 Just black and white. Black and white.
my god! Conjun's gonna shut him down. It's a double kill for Jim.
Oh my god, Jim!
Looking pretty good. It's gonna be a triple kill. Jim comes on fire. Jim comes on fire.
Had the right angle, but couldn't land the shot. The dart goes to 2-piece. Oh my god! Oh no! He was down to 1 second on the clock!
Já pegou bala na cara do Master. O Omairinho vai tentando fazer o primeiro. Da estátua vai tentar o tiro porrada e bomba! Vem! Clutch muito difícil de vencer, mas...
Square on the body that you hit. He no-scope for Apollo right there. He no-scope.
Termina eliminando a Jackie, igual queda solamente vivo por parte de repente, consigue la primera baja en este round. Se da cuenta que no
Jump it on in. All right, everybody. We are back for more Mobile Mayhem. This time we're here for North America. It is still me and Verdict for any of you who joined us earlier as well. We're kicking off the final day of Week 5, and I believe we're going to have 3 matchups here for you tonight. And that is going to be starting off with Primal versus ARP, Shred It versus NYSL Mayhem, and Tribe versus F4. Right out the gate, we're going to have the Primal versus ARP matchup. We're getting players funneled into the lobby right now. And I believe we have our best of 5 or best of 3 maps set up for us, Verdict. So why don't you go ahead and scroll down through those.
We're going to start off with that crossfire hardpoint, followed by a firing range on S&D. It's going to be spicy. Then we got a domination standoff if we are fortunate enough to see a Game 3 Primal banning the map Takeoff and the Annihilator operator skill. ARP opted to ban Hack the Yard. Thank God. These are 2 maps that needed to be banned. They did a good job of it, and as well as the Sparrow. Now, just to kind of set the stage here, this is going to be a best of 3, but as you already saw it, Moralto came in chat, bro, and they're 4v5ing it. Once again, this is definitely, you know, going to be a tough one to swallow. ARP has been very, very good recently, and something you don't need hindering you going up against a team of their caliber is a 4v5. 5v5 is tough enough, and you got to do it with 4 players. Definitely not going to be that close of a hard point if I had to guess.
Well, hopefully it's just the 4v5 hardpoint. Hopefully we're able to pull together a fifth for the search and destroy. As you guys can see here on stream, we do have a primal ban on takeoff and an ARP ban on Hackney Yard, with the Sparrow and the Annihilator as our operator bans. So none of those should be in play here for tonight. It does look like we have most of the players readied up, so we'll jump into it as soon as we can, guys. But I gotta say, I definitely think this is gonna flat out be an ARP win, right? I mean, there's not really a whole lot of hope for Primal in a hard point where the extra bodies are super helpful to have, especially one like Crossfire, where everything is like really close range, and having a body on point just to guard those remaining couple seconds while the team's looking for anchor on the next. Definitely a difficult one to overcome, so hopefully for Search and Destroy, a game mode that Primal is fantastic at, we'll have that action ready for you guys in a 5 versus 5. But we're jumping on into the game. It is Crossfire Hardpoint. It is Primal versus ARP, and definitely expecting big things out of ARP this game.
Yeah, ARP is going to get this one handed to them. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a huge map when it comes out to it. P1 going to be right here in the middle. The advantage to the guys over at Primal first, because they'll be able to get that jump up. I'm not expecting a whole lot. You know, I wanted this to be as close as possible, but in all reality, it's going to be everything but. P1 opening up, and we're going to see some trades coming in favor of the guys over at Primal, so they are actually going to be reciprocated by ARP, Veteran, and Pengy getting on board. And just as expected, ARP just doing what they need to do here. 5v4 business as usual.
Yeah, definitely has thus far been the case, and Pengy going to pick up a double kill there, picks up Volky as well as one more. Looking for the third, he's going to find Bright as well, and that is absolutely huge for them. As you guys can see, a lot of these players have been grinding away at the zombies. Pengy here with that Dark Aether Holger 26. A lot of real estate value for that skin, and it just looks so absolutely fantastic.
It does, man. I absolutely love the fact that these guys are grinding something other than multiplayer. I know that could get so repetitive. So to see the Dark Aether skins and whatnot, it is certainly refreshing. P2 opening up. Nearly 48 points here and counting for the guys over at ARP. They're looking to close this thing out early. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see these guys handle business, get it done, get into game 2, set themselves up proper as Mago rather, with the shorty to come through. They're going to go ahead and rack up 15 easy points, and Primal trying to stay in this as much as they can. But I mean, let's be real. I mean, how difficult is a 5v5 against these guys? Now you got to do it in a 4v5 scenario. You know, hats off to these guys for even staying in the match so far.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a couple points on the board. Nothing special, unfortunate. We do have Mago with the respawn sniper and the shorty, as you mentioned, and we don't see a lot of respawn sniping. I actually don't know if this is straight up just for the most part because it is a 4 versus 5, but there's a lot of really good sniping talent on the side of ARP and the likes of Mago, Pengy, Jesus Saves. I've seen Veteran at times in the past as well pick the sniper up and have some pretty good effect with it. But right now, it's ARP basically at the 100-point mark. Primal struggling to get double digits on the board. Mago going to find one on the back of Volky there. I would absolutely expect he's going to get collapsed on here, right? Like, you don't kill my boy and get out alive, right?
That ain't happening, bro. Pepe and ARP are just absolutely splaying out. Pengy, I got to make a note of. 11-2 at the moment. P4 looking or P3 rather, looking like it might be where it all comes down to the wire for ARP. They might be able to close it out here. And you know, at this particular point in the game, I just don't expect Primal to even try to contest point. You know, play KD, save face, get ready for game 2. Not necessarily throw this game, but let's be realistic about it. When you got 3 bodies on point and they've got operators, score streaks to accompany along with it, it's just not happening. All right, so about 12 seconds and counting for the guys from ARP to close this out, and that might do it. Okay, we're going to see one contest from Volky, the bold one, but he's going to be instantly traded. Now, game 1 in here. We'll see P4 opening up here shortly.
Yeah, it is going to be a P4, but you have to imagine there's not a lot of fight left in the side of Primal. Again, hopefully for game 2 they're able to pull together a 5th player because they're actually a really strong search and destroy team, but as you can see there, it is going to get closed out 150-6. And unfortunately, that's just the way it goes for Primal, and unfortunately, that's how a large portion of their season has actually gone. Unfortunately, where they have either been in 4 versus 5 scenarios, or they've been in just matches where they had their team and they were playing well, but who they were playing against was just not really doable for them. I mean, on Tuesday we had them up against NYSL Mayhem, and in the Search and Destroy on standoff, they actually looked pretty solid, but just couldn't find the rounds to close it out. As we do peek over to the scoreboard here, Verdict Pengi on the side of ARP, absolutely fragging out, triple positive, 16-5 for him. We did have Mago 12-0, as well as Jesus Saves at 11-4 over double positive, and we look at the opposition, and Primal just couldn't get anything going. Meralto, the only person even on the team, and the rest of the team sitting down even lower at 4-14, 5-15, and 2-13. Volky, with the only player with any contest or points on the board as far as the hard point goes, with 6 seconds. You look over at ARP, a lot of really diverse team effort coming through here. Pengi with 29, Jesus Saves and Mago with 30, Pepe with 15, and Veteran with 53 on the board. So that game went just about exactly as we had expected it to, and I'm hoping when we hop back to the lobby here in a second, I'm hoping there's a 5th player in for Primal, because it's a team with a lot of potential, especially when you have Meralto on the team. I mean, he is absolutely an amazing sniper, and unfortunately, we just haven't really been able to see them have a big showing of it.
Yeah, in this situation, a 4v5 on the hardpoint, the story tells itself, bro. You saw the game. It is exactly as one would expect a hardpoint on that map would go. This Search and Destroy on firing range should be a little different, regardless of Primal getting a 5th. With Meralto's sniping abilities, I would assume he could really even things out here. We'll have to see, though, because I'm looking at the lobby, and they have yet to produce a 5th for the Search. Again, I still feel like a Search and Destroy might be a little better for 4v5, but, again, it's coming down to the manpower. When you're already down 1, I guess you just have to play like you're down 1 for the remainder of the series. It's about as poetic as I can get. I'm just being real. It's just not good. All right, so Primal needs to stay in this thing. They need to find a dub here. And Search and Destroy on firing range, I could expect Meralto to hit a few wall bangs, right?
Definitely a lot of potential. And, while we're waiting on a couple players to ready up, I'll throw us back into the best of 3 real quick, just in case if anybody joined us late. We just finished our Crossfire hardpoint, which is going to go over to the side of ARP. And we're jumping into firing range, Search and Destroy, which is a really big one for the sniper talent in the lobby. Now, what I definitely have to point out here is that ARP have a really solid sniper line as well. So normally I would say, hey, even in a 4v5 scenario, maybe Meralto's able to pick up an early pick. Maybe he helps his team get through to the next coming rounds by getting those early picks. But Jesus Saves, Pengi, Mago, all fantastic snipers of very similar caliber. And, it's definitely a tall order to ask, especially with Primal not being able to field a 5th player. So I was hoping maybe they could pull it together. I mean, I'm a big Primal fan, right? In that I like a lot of the players. Mango's super, super chill. Meralto, I mean, true homie, but unfortunately, they've just been unable to find their groove. I do see people in chat. Yeah, he was 12-0, not 12-4. It was not close to a nuke, but if that game would have been any longer, we potentially could have seen it. But we're just waiting on our final player to get readied up here for this matchup. And we'll be looking into the Search and Destroy on firing range for you guys. It's definitely an exciting one. It's one where there's a lot of sniper potential for the wall bangs, just for the long range picks. And, unfortunately, Primal are going to be at a disadvantage right off the start.
Yep, 4v5 scenario here for the guys over Primal. We're going to get geared up for this next matchup. Again, I'll go ahead and say it. I still firmly believe this. Search and Destroy is much more manageable to do in a 4v5 scenario in regards to, game modes. Hardpoint, domination, not it. You literally need bodies on the point. You literally need bodies on the flag. Protecting it's practically impossible to do a 4v5 in a respawn game mode. ARP, Bomb in hand, going to make their way down to this A-long area. They're going to have 4 players rushing aggressively. One, that's going to be Mago actually hanging back for the flank. And Meralto actually going to be traded instantly. It's going to be a 3v5. If you weren't already at a disadvantage, 3v5 is going to have to do.
Yeah, definitely a rough one with Pepe picking up another kill onto Mangoes. That is not going to be good for the side of Primal. Volky also in a pretty decent gunfight here, and that is going to be it. Line him up, knock him down. The clean round going over to the side of ARP, who are off to a great start.
Great start indeed. A flawless victory there in round 1 on the backs of Pepe picking up 2 big frags. We'll see if this strategy changes. 80 for the defense as ARP. You got the ball, just run it down the pipe, man. Just keep doing it until it doesn't work. And we do see them push right back towards this A-long area. They're going to get a little bit of clearance there. One trade for Veteran. Bright goes down, and now it's a 3v5 yet again. Oh, my God. I was just checking out Mago. Freaking just ridiculous quick snipe there. It's going to leave Meralto at a 1v4. He is on his own here.
Yeah, he definitely is, and it's definitely going to be a rough fight for him to have. He does pick up 1 onto Pepe, but he is going to get hit markered in return. Does pick up 1, misses the shot on the second. He is making it look a little bit more doable. Misses the shot on Pengi, the Fennec. Going to come through and pick that one up, and what was looking pretty spicy for Meralto there is going to still go in favor of ARP. And they now lead 2-0. Man, I love all of the Dark Aether camos we've got going on here. I spent so long grinding that skin in Cold War. And to see a version of it come through here in COD Mobile and just look so good is just fantastic.
It is fantastic. We'll see this third round starting off. Bright going to be the first victim. Veteran picks up another. Volky trying to get on board himself. Going to get the FHJ, but it doesn't hit. We're going to have 3 players effectively on the A bomb site. 1 rotating backside. Mago picks up 1. Pepe going to pick up 2. That's going to be another round. Another flawless round, I might add, to the guys over at ARP. And what I was saying about there might be a better opportunity for Primal to get back in this thing. I might be eating those words because at the moment ARP are looking pretty good. We'll see if they're continuing their perfection here in the search or destroy is another round on the attack. We got 2 more rounds on the attack, so they'll be able to potentially capitalize. 1 Mago actually going to go down early. Bright gets on board, but is instantly traded.
Yeah, you got to win that one. I missed Mango's picking up the double kill there, but the 3-for-1 trade heavily in favor of Primal here. They may be able to turn things around a little bit. Jesus Saves is watching the backside while Pepe, he's watching trailer door. He's going to pick up 1 onto Meralto. Looks like he was about to take that fight with Volky as well, but both players will make it out alive. It's now a 2 versus 2. Jesus Saves has pushed his way up. He's now with his partner here, and they may be looking for the kill onto Volky. They get a couple bullets at him, but it's not enough to finish it off. He's going to make it out alive, and he'll live to potentially take another gunfight if he's able to get into position. And ARP have done a great job thus far, but Primal, they're answering back in a pretty big way despite the disadvantage, at least in this round.
Yep, this round is a little more favorable, but I gotta point it out. Volky just hasn't been the strongest search or destroy player for this Primal roster. And I'm not saying that because his ability frag isn't there. It's just I don't know what it was. The last time I watched him play search or destroy Tuesday night, didn't really step up to the plate. As a matter of fact, I think he actually ended the game with a donut. Right now he's sitting exactly where he lied the other night. I think he was able to get 1 on board. Mangoes picks up 1. Mangoes, the man, the myth, the legend, picking up the nice 2-piece. That head glitch is not going to save those ARP players, as we do see Primal getting on board. It's 1-3, looking to see if they can take another before they flip sides. Could possibly happen here. We'll see how this defense holds up.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking for it. Right now, it's been the Pepe show as he is 6-2, and Mango's doing his best on the side of Primal. but unable to find any sort of grasp outside of that last round. He had a ginormous double kill that made the round possible. And I just don't know how long they're going to be able to hold on. It's definitely a tall order, and with Meralto and Bright and Volky dropping there, it's now going to be Mango's left alone. And I don't know if he necessarily knows that someone's underneath him. He's going to pick up the one onto Pepe. Looking for the second. Can he find it? He does find Veteran, but the shorty from Jesus Saves, that's going to be it. Lights out.
Yeah, there was a little bit of hope there. Mango's just, I mean, it's a 1v4. What can we say? His location was already given away. He took down 2 players. It was a well-fought battle, but ultimately, ARP prevails. We're going to see these sides flip now. This is the time for Primal to really shine because they have the bomb. They can set the tone. They can sit back in their spawns, pick for picks. Actually, we do see Jesus Saves goes down early. Pepe almost bit the bullet there as he's half health, but he is going to recover. Pepe has been the man of the night for this ARP roster. 7-3. He's going to have 3 opponents peeking the same A-long path, and he is going to be demolished. Bomb is still in the hands of Volky as Bright picks up one. Mango's going to drop in the trade. It is a 3v3 scenario now. And with ARP knocking on the back door here of the spawn site, we might see this pinch come through. Multiple players going to be peeking A-long. They're going to be taking some shots. Ultimately, no trades made. Bomb's going to be pushed towards this A-bomb site now as I see Volky going to go ahead and get it down. That'll put 45 seconds on the clock for ARP to make this retake happen.
Yeah, it definitely seems to be the case. Meralto might have an opportunity here. Picks up Veteran. What a shot coming through from him. He might be able to find his second as well. And Pengi, he's going to get it. And like I said, Meralto, such a strong sniper talent for the side of Primal that it sucks to, unfortunately, see his team struggling as often as we do. He's got 5 kills on the board. And Bright is going to pick up that final kill. It's not quite going to tie things up, but it will close the gap at least a little bit.
Yeah, that wound is still bleeding, though, so they got to find a way to put a bandage on it. Do something, bro. They got to wrap it up. This 4v5 has been anything but easy for Primal. Meralto obviously anchoring, getting some kills early on, some much-needed ones to secure that bomb. As he's in a 1v1 scenario with Jesus. Jesus going to get a hit marker, going to force him back, and he's not only got to worry about Jesus, but also Pepe. Pepe's actually right there in this burnt car area. Oh my god, Meralto picks him up. The snipes just don't miss. And it's a 3v4 scenario. Jesus saves you holding point as exactly as he should. You don't need to push this. Just hold sight. Make sure you got good positioning. And force the hands of Primal to make a mistake here as only a few more players need to drop and you got another round. But we're going to see what kind of attack strategy now is Volky top wood. Bright going to be hanging out in this jungle area. Nobody in a necessary, like...
This spot that Mago is in right now, it's like, don't peek top wood, for sure.
Was he on sandbags? Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
sandbags looking through the like
the
crevice. Yeah.
Oh man, cheeky spots. Love it. I love these pro players. They get in here, they expose these areas of the game that a lot of people are very, they're unaware of. And it does get the opportunity for us to see them all. We're gonna see Volky actually pick up his first with the nay. Let's go, Volky. A bomb site clear. Gonna go ahead and get this bomb plant down. This is looking a lot better for Primal. We'll see how they secure it now as Bright's one shot. 45 seconds on the clock. ARP gonna have to get this 3v3 retake here on A.
Whoa, that was looking pretty close. Is gonna be a big push-up. I keep hitting the wrong button. By Volky, but he is gonna get dropped by Pengi. It's now a 2 versus 3 ARP in a pretty decent spot. Bright, he's head glitching the bomb, but I think Meralto might be time to turn around here, buddy. I don't know if he can quite get the... Yeah, I don't know if he has sights. Yeah, not going to have it. And unfortunately for the side of Primal, that's going to be a 5th round going over to the side of ARP now. And ARP are 1 round away from closing out a 2-0 victory.
I'm not trying to nitpick or anything, but if I'm Meralto, a seasoned vet like himself, I'm not sure what the positioning was there. Obviously, you got 3 players to deal with. I get that. At the same time, oh man, he drops there. That's tough. Same time, you weren't really in a position to save that bomb from being defused. If you would have maybe taken a shot and taken one of the bomb carriers down, you would create a little bit of disturbance. And, he found himself out of position. And, ultimately, Primal pays the price in a round. And now we're on match point. ARP looking to take this 2-0 fashion. Can very well do so. Volky and Mangoes are going to be the last two alive. This is looking impossible here for the guys over Primal.
Yeah, definitely not looking good, but Volky with the drop might be able to get a jump on somebody here. He's going to run around. I think he's going to run into Veteran. Mangoes finds one. Volky gets dropped. It's now on Mangoes in the 1 versus 4. I don't know if it's possible. Pengi with the rotation behind. He's going to pick up that kill. And we're in a great spot for ARP, who they did join late, but they have been able to find themselves a lot of points here in Mobile Mayhem, picking up again the 2-0 victory over Primal in the unfortunate 4 versus 5. You hate to see it go down like that, especially with how close a lot of those search and destroy rounds are. Again, Primal's actually, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way, but I mean just about everybody except for Volky seems to be really, really solid in search and destroy. Volky has his games in respawn, but definitely got to see more out of him in the search. That'll give them more opportunity to push us to game 3s, as well as just having a consistent 5th has been a big struggle for Primal so far this season. And as we jump into the scoreboard, you'll be able to see exactly what I was referring to. A minute ago, unfortunately, Volky through 8 rounds, only able to pick up 1 kill. That being said, Jesus also only picked up 2, but he is very often a top fragger for ARP in Search and Destroy, so you got to give him credit for what he's done so far today, just not his day, clearly. And also, Pepe was absolutely cracked today. I mean, it was probably pretty hard to find kills in general when Pepe was lighting people up the way he was in those early couple rounds. But, I mean, the stats really show themselves. It was the Mangoes and Meralto show for Primal, and pretty much everybody on ARP putting in some degree of work. So, that's going to be it for that. That's going to push us into our second series of the night, and we'll get into that as soon as we get through this short ad break for you guys. Alright, and as you guys can see on screen right now, our next matchup here tonight is going to be Shreddit versus NYSLM Mayhem. And Mayhem definitely a team that maybe towards the beginning of the season, or well, at least throughout Masters, definitely had some hit or miss performances, but they have looked better and better every single time we see them. And even though it was off stream, you definitely got to give them credit. They were able to take down Tribe in Stage 3. Again, those were off stream games, but definitely shows that maybe North America isn't as top 1 or 2 heavy as we originally thought. Obviously, the battle for Masters was Tribe and Truly in NYSL. Then, coming into Mobile Mayhem, a lot has shifted up, including Tuesday's games, in which where we saw Arsenal, who's been improving so much these past couple weeks, actually were able to take down Tribe in a 2-0 victory, as well as you can't just call it an off day for Tribe or that they don't have Bolu, because man, Tribe, they still won Masters without Bolu. It was close. Truly almost walked away with it. But Tribe did make the comeback. But Arsenal also was able to beat Zygnus as well previously. So, granted, when Arsenal beat NYSL Mayhem, they were definitely not with their starting roster. Even that considered, NYSL have been up and up and up and up. And I think that the competition for that #1 spot is definitely a lot closer than people would have originally thought. I know a lot at the beginning, a lot of people were like, man, NYSL's not doing that good, and they have turned things around in a big way, and I think they have a real shot of winning this Mobile Mayhem. So I believe you should have the best of 3 map bans and picks pulled up, Verdict, so I'm going to go ahead and hop over to that, and we'll let you run through them.
Absolutely. We're going to start the action off on a Hardpoint Summit. Probably the only game mode that's viable for Summit map itself. It's not my favorite for domination or search or destroy, but nonetheless, we're gonna see it here in Hardpoint start things off. S&D standoff is what we're gonna see in game 2. If we're lucky enough to see a game 3, it's gonna be a hack the yard domination. Shred It opting to ban the Crossfire and Sparrow. Crossfire Map and Sparrow Operator. Mayhem opting to ban Firing Range and Annihilator. You know, normal bans, normal maps. Crossfire I don't like. Firing Range, interesting choice for Mayhem, but certainly a strategical one as we are going to get ready for this. Oh, no. Is this true? Say it ain't so. Bro. Is that what... Am I reading that correctly? Shred It is...
I hope B is trolling us.
Oh my god. I'll just say I'm dyslexic and say I didn't read that properly. That to see a DQ,
Or a
as
forfeit.
much as I wanted to
Rather, a
see
forfeit.
NYSL Mayhem, but guys, that's tough.
Yeah, it definitely is, which, if that's the case, it does look like we may actually be jumping into our final matchup of the night. Yeah, I'm a little late on seeing that message. That's my bad, admin team, but...
Blame Ronan. Ronan can take the L this time.
Blame Ronan? Is that what we're doing? Just blame Ronan?
Just, hey, keep the EU energy rolling. Blame Ronan for this scenario, as we were only going to see 3 matchups to begin the night. Now it looks like we're only going to see 2 on the backs of Shred It not being able to show up. That's quite all right. NYSL Mayhem, they don't care how they get the points. They'll take them. Granted, I know they want to play because these guys are competitors at the highest caliber. They would love nothing more to jump into a match with these guys and fight it out. But they're going to get those fat 20 points awarded, and we're going to get geared up for our next and final matchup of the night, which is going to be the Tribe and F4 series. Is that right?
Yeah, it should be Tribe versus F4. I'm definitely a little disappointed that we don't get to see the NYSL matchup because, again, every time we see them lately, they get better and better. I think that they're probably the best search and destroy team in all of North America currently. And it's always a treat to get to see them play, especially with some of the minor roster changes they've had as of late. So that is definitely a pretty unfortunate one. But, 1 second. All right. Yeah, we'll get you guys over into that matchup as soon as we can. And this is kind of one of the things that we were talking about on Tuesday, Verdict, is with Tribe having lost their matchup to Arsenal, and Arsenal having a bye this week, and Mayhem being against Shred It, even though this is kind of the outcome we expected as far as the 2-0 going to Mayhem, this is not how we really wanted to do it. Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's pretty unfortunate, but we do have the graphic updated, so we'll hop on over to that. It is going to be F4 versus Tribe Gaming. And I think everybody probably expects this to go the way of Tribe, even after their loss to Arsenal, just because F4 has not been as strong as a team as Arsenal has been, especially these past couple of weeks. Again, Arsenal, we saw take down Zygnus, I believe, 3-0. And that's a tall order for any team to do. Zygnus is not a pushover team. I mean, even in the past when we've seen NYSL Mayhem versus Zygnus or Tribe versus Zygnus, it's often pretty late into the series before a victor is decided, and often going back and forth between the two, right? But definitely have to expect Tribe to walk away with this one. F4 definitely has some talent for search and destroy. But I can't see them winning a hard point against Tribe.
Yeah, I could, I could. It's hard enough for me to think that Tribe would drop a map on this map, and I'm not being, biased or showing favoritism in any manner. I'm just being realistic. Tribe's been, in the top side of any kind of competition in the NA scene for such a long time. Dropping a game against an F4 team wouldn't be it would be a bad moment for them, but it's just not realistic and thinking about it. But at the same time, any dog has their day. F4 can show up and show out and make things happen. Speaking a little bit more about the Arsenal matchup, I know that they took down Tribe 2-0 on Tuesday.
Yep.
They also took down Cygnus, and they're looking very, very nice as they are starting to finally, progress and peak and whatnot. But I do got to make a note about that Cygnus matchup now that I'm thinking about it. After that Sunday showdown we had where Cygnus was playing, we got some information that Cheto and Tatio are making that transition over the phone. And I'm not necessarily
Tatio
like
has been on
downplaying. Yeah, but he was making his transit like literally. They were like on day 5 of switching over completely.
Cheto is. Tatio's been on phone for a couple seasons now.
Yeah, but he was still playing on iPad though.
Not for competition.
Not for competition.
No, he's.
I'm just.
He's been
I
on
don't.
phone.
I don't know. I don't know. I just read in chat. I remember seeing that specifically, and I don't know if that necessarily had anything to do with it. But at any given point, I'm not discrediting Arsenal for that or for that win. All I'm saying is you got a couple different variables to throw in. I'm not, trying to, downplay the fact that they beat Cygnus in that series, or even beating Tribe 2-0. But you really go back and look at it, Tribe had the W in the bag for the hard point, and Arsenal just like literally every talk has their day. They came through and removed everyone off of that P3 transition on Summit. In reality, it was so close. I don't know. It was like literally like a 3-point game. Is that right? The Search and Destroy, a blowout, though. The Search and Destroy wasn't even close.
Yeah, it was a very, very close hard point, and hopefully Tribe are able to bounce back from that, because if they dropped a game to F4 here, which if they do again, it would probably be the Search and Destroy. While Tribe is not a bad Search and Destroy team, it is certainly their worst game mode. I mean, domination,
Sure.
hard point, that is absolutely their strong suit. They have a lot of Slayers. They have a lot of really smart players as well that hold positions really well, and they work well as a team, or at least have in previous forums where we've seen them. So Respawns tends to be their strong suit, but they are also a good Search and Destroy team. But again, up against F4, if they were going to lose a game, I would have to imagine it's the Search and Destroy. Even with the whole Tribe factor of Tribe not, often warming up, I would say I still don't see Tribe, even on their worst day, losing a hard point to F4 here. Because F4 is a very weak Respawn team. I don't mean that in a rude way, but that is
no.
That
You
is
just
the
be
case.
realistic about it. Realistically speaking, Tribe flourish in Respawn environments. Search or Destroy, definitely not a weak point for them. But if you had to point out anything about their games, Search or Destroy is probably one of the game modes that they would be more likely to lose than the other. Granted, we talked about the AR matchup. The 2-0 coming through. I'm not discrediting AR. I just want everybody to know that. I'm not trying to say, AR, blah, blah. I don't want anybody to take this and be like, oh, well, Verdict doesn't think any. No, I'm trying to tell you, Tribe is a dominant Respawn team. If they drop a game or a map on anything, it'll be a Search or Destroy. The hard point was literally, within 3
nail,
points.
the whole way.
Yeah. I mean, it literally was so close. It could have gone either way. So realistically speaking, that game could have gone either way if Tribe had played that zone a little better, or if AR would have missed one kill. It could have made a difference. Like literally, if everything wouldn't have happened the way it happened, I mean, Jesus Christ, 3 points is what separated. So too close of a game like that. Is Tribe slipping? No. You got to factor in the fact that it was on a map like Summit, which we all know how map, hardpoint spawns. What's the word we look for? Questionable spawns, in quotations. they're not the best. And then you got to deal with it on a summit map. You know what? I don't know, bro. That's with those all into in the factor, it's I don't know. Is Tribe taking that 2-0 big? Absolutely. Is it big for AR? Absolutely. Were the hardpoint game and Search and Destroy, if we would have played them on different maps, would it have been different? Probably. I don't know. But you got to think about it. When you factor in all those, those qualities in the game, would have been different though. I don't know.
Right.
We'll see though. What's going on with these?
We're actually gonna jump to a short break real quick. We're gonna give these players a couple extra minutes just due to how far up their matchup was moved. I mean, again, this was supposed to be match 4 tonight. So with the short games that we had and the DQ, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be back for you guys as soon as we can, and we'll get you guys into the action. All right, guys, we are sorry about the delay. We are back. We do have F4 and Tribe in the lobby, and we're going to hop over to our map selection for tonight. We are going to be starting off with Standoff Hardpoint, Hackney Yard, Search and Destroy, and should we somehow make it to a Game 3, we'll see Raid Domination. F4 with the ban on Crossfire and the Sparrow. Tribe with a ban on Takeoff and the Annihilator. So pretty common stuff that we're seeing here. Definitely maps that both of these teams should be well enough ready for. And I gotta say, this has been an incredibly short night, and as much as I hate to see it, we also have the Spawn North America after this, so I'm getting the feeling based on what all has happened this week, it's probably going to be a short Spawn too, but definitely make sure you guys stick around from that. I certainly have a lot to say in a short amount of time, and I'm sure Zim is also going to have a lot to say, and we also have Nero as our guest tonight, so make sure you guys stick around for that. But I think we're ready to jump on into the game, just as soon as the admins get things rolling, and by the admins, I mean as soon as Bolu ready's up. There we go.
Yeah, that's right, guys. We've got Bolu making a special guest appearance for this Tribe roster tonight. The 4v5 will not be exciting. I won't lie to you. F4 only being able to produce 4 players. The highlight is playing the one-handed bandit back in action. We'll see here as P1 going to be opening up for Shop, and I'm going to be on board with him off the bat.
Yeah, definitely got to give an eye out on Bolu and see how he's doing. I'm pretty sure he's still going to be playing one-handed, or I don't know, he might be at the point that he's using a couple fingers on the other hand. I'll ask him later, but for now, I don't have an answer for you. A couple trophy systems coming out, and right now it is Tribe dominant on the point. And unfortunately for the side of F4, almost said Primal because of Ingenic, you troll. But definitely a big start for Tribe. Probably going to be a pretty short night here tonight.
Oh, yeah, definitely. With Bolu up top here in Granny's, he picks up 1 and is on the trail of taking down Lossy. Lossy going to escape for his life, but that ain't going to help the guys over at F4 here in P1. It is all Tribe cornering the market. Rotations are going to be halted for F4 as Bolu catches 1 slip, and MV going to come through for some backside support, and he's going to get taken down. Parrish and Bolu both going to push up. They got 2 players to take out. Make that 1 now as Sped is going to be the last player on point. Slide peek for Bolu, not going to happen. Sped picks up his 3rd. 4th. What a feed for Sped as he has now picked up his 4th. He's going to have the advantage here, but is going to be taken down as Parrish going to get on point, taking him out, and that is going to be Tribe continue to rack up the points here in P2.
I kind of want to call him Conscript just for the memes in the good old times, but
CoScript.
Yeah, CoScript unfortunately unable to get anything going right now. He's sitting down 1 and 4. There's definitely an opportunity where he could turn things around, but again, not having that extra body for the hard point in this matchup against a team like Tribe is pretty detrimental for them, unfortunately. A couple kills do get picked up. Maybe we can have a little bit of something come through, but just as it's looking like they might make a break, unfortunately, F4 falls a little bit apart. They're now pushing on over to get ready for next. This is definitely the smart play. Did I just miss Bolu 1911 someone, or was that a Deagle?
I don't know, but what I will say is, I have to check. Whatever he pulls out of secondary, I'll let you know and confirm. One would say that a crippled Bolu or a handicapped Bolu would make this a 4v4 scenario, but it's not. Bro is popping off 8 and 2, as a matter of fact. In 24 seconds on the hill, he's on a 5 combo. What a champ.
Yeah, this has been a big opportunity for F4 to make a break, but didn't even get onto the point, unfortunately. Marshy, he's going to find a hit marker there. Sped may have been looking for the kill onto Bolu, but like you said, even a crippled Bolu is still a strong player overall. And Jenna going to pick up 1 with the shorty, almost able to find Parrish, but unable to get it going. We have CoScript in on the stairs. We'll have to see if he's able to pick up the kill. ASVAL, great at the close range, going to find 1, but unfortunately for them, just not having that extra body is super, super hard to deal with, especially against a team like Tribe. And this one looking like it's probably going to be over pretty quick. In fact, Parrish with the Peacekeeper in hand. I know this is a pretty balanced update, but definitely wasn't expecting to see a Peacekeeper.
Yo, I don't think I've ever seen a Peacekeeper in competitive format. Not even in Battle Royale. Peacekeeper just hasn't been it since it's been released, but I got to give it to Parrish, man. He's got 11 kills on the board, 11 and 5 to be exact. Bolu, guys, let's give it up for Bolu. 13 and 5. He's one-handed, literally maybe using his other hand as like a prop. But let's be realistic, dude isn't fully like able to use that second hand, and he's putting up numbers like this. I mean, come on now. Tribe doing Tribe things here. They're going to get the retake off the backs. No, they're not. Engetic denying it. P4 rotation tapping.
The giant triple, too. Almost able to find it. He's going to pick up a fourth. I think he's going to get gunned down from behind here in just a second. He slides the corner into Bolu, who's going to pick up that kill. Losty with the Death Machine helping hold down this point. And this has actually been a giant hard point for the side of F4 so far. In fact, I think they've pretty much got this whole hard point. Granted, that is one of the hardest hard points to break, and they set up early. Tribe had the sentry gun ready to go. They were looking for it next. Losty is going to pick up Parrish, but Marshy going to find him through the little crevice of the door there. CoScript finding another double as well, and this is looking like Tribe going to close it out. And F4 for a 4 versus 5, even against the crippled Bolu, this has been not a bad match for them. Parrish trying to hold it down with the Death Machine, but he's taking a lot of shots right now as well.
Yeah, they got a little bit of coordination. I got to give it to F4. Even though it's a 4v5, they're heading their on. As a matter of fact, able to put up 80 points on the back of Tribe running a few snipers and a Peacekeeper. Bolu obviously rocking the Death Machine here. Going to pick up one, clear this point. CoScript going to be flashed and taken down. The contest isn't going to come in time. 150 to 83. That's going to be game one going in favor of Tribe.
Yeah, that was a big game for Tribe, but honestly, F4, you got to give them credit for the numbers that they put up in a massive disadvantage, both in just the overall aspect of the game, being in a 4 versus 5, but up against Tribe nonetheless. They were able to put up a solid 83 points. I don't know if you can complain about that if you're F4, like not being a strong respawn team in the first place, coming through, and I don't want to say having a close game versus Tribe, but they definitely found their groove on a couple of those hard points. As you can see, Engetic 22 and 15 with 3 assists, 45 seconds on the board to lead his team. But the rest of the team also basically net neutral or a couple negative. I mean, CoScript 15 and 13, Sped was only -2, and he actually broke out pretty big in a large part of P4. And Losty was the most negative on the team, unfortunately, at 10 and 15. But with 30 seconds on the hill, definitely had a lot of contest time, as well as, again, they locked down P4 for quite a long period. You look over at the opposition, and a little bit surprising here. Band down at 8 and 13, and Bolu top fragging at 19 and 10.
Let's be fair. Band and Marshy both used the Locust the entirety of the game. All right, so we're not going to sit here and crap on their sniping abilities, but they're not snipers to say, to be short about it.
All right, I'll crap on their snipers during the spawn. It's fine.
All right, good content right there, guys. Don't stick, don't leave, because this is going to get juicy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to stick around and listen to a little bit of it. As nonetheless, Bolu, 19 and 10, 31 seconds on the hill. Everyone give him a round of applause, with bro clapping cheeks with one hand. I'm talking about dude was popping off.
Yeah, again, it's still definitely hard to complain if you're F4 on that one. In a full-on matchup, I feel like that was closer than I would have expected that game to be, let alone it being a 4 versus 5. So great performance coming out of those guys here today. And I repeatedly say that this team is a good search team, but not a good respawn team. So maybe they can find some sort of movement here. We will have Sped typically being the primary sniper for the side of F4. And Engetic, he's hit or miss, but a lot of times he does pop off in search and destroy and top frags for the team. So there's a chance. I don't want to say it's a big chance, but there is definitely a small sliver of hope for F4 that they could find something here and not only pick themselves up 5 points, but if they could deny Tribe 5 points here, that would be huge.
Oh yeah, if they keep that same energy that they had towards the end of that hard point, we might see a game 3. Now, with that being stated, I am going to put that on the backs of Tribe and their sniper utilization. I'm not calling Marshy out. I'm not calling Band out, bro. But you have that same kind of performance in a Search and Destroy. These guys are going to wipe the floors and take us to a game 3. So we'll see it. Game 2 about to start off a Search and Destroy Hackney Yard. This is a map that's growing on me. It's definitely not my favorite for Search and Destroy, but it has grown on me, and I'm kind of fond of the strategies you'll see teams push. I'm expecting Tribe to 5-man push to A, and if I'm F4, that's what I'm going to be prepared for. I'm going to stack A heavily and try and prevent any kind of rotations to come through that bottom side. If you can pick up 1 or 2 kills early, you can find yourself in a very beneficial point in this game as we're getting started up. Tribe is going to be on the attack, and F4 on the defense.
Yeah, definitely would expect this one to go in favor of Tribe, but if F4 are able to find any sort of groove, maybe they can pull it together. CoScript, actually, sniper in hand, gonna pick up the first blood, I believe? Yeah. Yeah, pretty solid shot out of him on Marshy.
Yeah, that was a decent shot. He got up to the top green area and just really, took advantage of the fact that he had all of Tribe rotating through, picked one he wanted to take the shot on. Now we got an even 4v4 scenario where Tribe actually going to get this bomb down, not wasting any time. Going to see CoScript pushing up. He spots one up top. Sped in a position with Ingetic. Ingetic picking up a nice 2-piece. Okay, F4 looking to make this Search and Destroy spicy. Could definitely do it here as 3v2 ensues. Band going to be on the creepy side of this wall and going to beam Ingetic, but what were those shots, my guy?
Well, there's 10 seconds on the board. It's just Bolu alive, make it nobody, and able to clutch up the first round, it looks like. We're actually going to have an F4 lead here in Search and Destroy. Also, chat, I see you guys saying hop into Tribes VC. Probably not going to happen for Search and Destroy. I do apologize, but not Search and Destroy. I should have done it during the hard point. It probably would have been some pretty good memes, but yeah, we're gonna save that here.
Yeah, we're gonna save it. Not gonna be able to jump into VCs, as it's never been an opportunity for us to do it. It's just not happening. Search and Destroy.
Not for Search.
Yeah, those comms are sacred, bro. Those are strategies, what they got going on. That needs to stay that way, and a 4v5 will ensue here as we do see all of F4 collecting themselves back to their spawn. Bomb is down, 28 seconds. A little bit of time crunch here. They need to push and get those opening frags. I say that Sped gonna open the floodgates. Takes down one gate, takes down another, and Envy gonna go ahead and get the push up, and Losty finding another. This is a F4 team that we have been desperately wanting to see as they take 2 of these rounds back to back. Tribe, I said it. I think they need to make this push towards A. That's where they have the numbers at. That's where the advantage is going to come through. But the push towards B hasn't worked. We'll see if they adapt here.
Yeah, definitely going to have to see. And F4, they are out of the gate for Search and Destroy in a big way. Sped, Fennec in hand, 5 kills on the board for him. Tribe, once again, hard push B. And are going to get the free plant down, so we'll have to see if the side of F4 can clutch it up once again. As we see, Sped with 5 and Genic 3 and 1. CoScript, actually, their primary sniper here today is a little bit different. And Genic going to find 1 onto Band. It's a big opening pick for the side of F4.
We're going to notice Tribe evacuating this middle warehouse area. This is where they got caught up last round. It ain't happening again.
CoScript, what a shot!
Oh, I missed that, man.
Through the smoke, got the drag scope on him.
That's it.
Yeah, it's a good
Not
play.
going to be able to have time there. Well
Good play
played
by Envy. Huge play by Envy.
Huge play, the 3-piece to cap it off with. Played it exactly how he needed to. A little different. You notice that strategy? They weren't caught up in the middle warehouse area. Instead, they back to the opposite opposing side. They were anticipating F4 to play aggressive towards A, and it panned out for him. That's adapting on the fly. That B bomb plant went through, was a free plant as always, pushed all the way through and it panned out. So well adjusted for Tribe as they take one of these search and destroy rounds. We're going to see a not so free plant here come through, but I do believe Tribe are aware of the players from F4. I think they know that they got to be in this vicinity. They aren't pushing through this A site. Losty actually going to get a contest. Take some shots. Envy escaping with his life. Losty going to get taken down as Parrish opening frag. Big one for Tribe there.
Yeah, definitely a big one for them. They already had the man advantage, now make it 2. And this is looking like it's probably going to be a second round going over to Tribe. I can't believe Parrish didn't get the kill with that nade, but is going to force Sped off of the high ground, which is absolutely huge for them. Sped was looking for the kill on the band, not quite able to be able to find it. CoScript finds 2. I can't believe I missed that, but they just don't have time to get to the bomb, and Bolu going to come through and pick up that final kill, and Tribe will tie things up.
Gotta commend the guys over at F4. Not necessarily these past 2 rounds have been great, but definitely keeping it close. Tribe finding a way as they do make their way to this A site. This is going to be well anticipated. Parrish says, forget about it, bro. Sped going to pick up 1, and Jetic going to pick up another, and Jetic picking up 2. Surely 3v2 scenario as Band on the flank picks up another. That is tough. 2v2.
Woo!
Jetic on Marshy. We got ourselves a game here, and Jetic get lasers.
Yeah, even with the quick fix there, even with the quick fix for Band there, he re-peaked the challenge, and Jenik, after picking up the 1 on the Marshy, was able to get into the slight head glitch on the van there and picks him out of the window, and F4 once again find themselves a lead even in a 4 versus 5.
This is it, 9-3 for a Jetic, man. The big carries, they are real. As the guys over at F4 looking to try their hand at some attacking strategies. We flipping sides now, and they're looking for the go-ahead on B. They might as well go ahead and take it. Bolu, the only player there to contest. Actually, I have Parrot, who's going to come through the bottom side of this green building. Finds 1 in Sped. That's huge. As I do see CoScript having a bit of connectivity issue. Bolu picking up 2 there. This might be an ace. As he takes down Losty. And Jetic and CoScript are the last 2 alive. And Jetic actually going to take some shots. He's going to be eating some bullets himself. Parrish going to get that frag. And now CoScript in 1v1 scenario.
Oh, you got to win that one, bud.
Is not it, bro.
Yeah, the Brunetti not quite going to be able to challenge the Fennec at that close range. Yeah, he got the 1 burst in while strafing, hit a couple bullets, but the Fennec just puts out the pain and doesn't stop putting it out.
Fennec, the gift that keeps on giving. We'll see another attacking strategy, another push towards this B side, and Jetic gonna open the doors, get that bomb planted. 45 seconds on the clock. We're gonna see Envy. Oh my God, Marshy gets lasered. That top warehouse ain't it, bro. And Jetic just on top of his game today. 12-4, bro. How does he go 12-4?
I don't know. Chat mega cursed Bolu. They told me to spectate Bolu, and he just got absolutely lasered by Ingenic. So it is now it is now a lone Band versus a lone Ingenic. And looking at the scoreboard, 3 versus 5 and 13-4 as he picks it up. Here's Band climbing on up, pulls out the shorty, finds the 1 shot, and that's going to be a 4th round now going over to F4.
Guys, we're getting into that point where we might see a 3rd game if Tribe can't find a way to come back. It's a 4-3 scenario, and F4 playing pretty decently here. Parrish going to pick up that opening frag. That's going to be great for Tribe as we do see Marshy on the flank here. CoScript might get the drop on. He says not today. Marshy does find Jetic, though. That's huge. As Jetic, big boy carries, man. This guy's got a Louis Vuitton bag stuffing people in them. 12 kills on the board. 14, actually, as he took down 2 last round. Not going to be able to do anything here. Ban going to find CoScript. Envy going to get the shots to connect on Sped. and we're all tied up. Tribe said, I'm not ready for a game 3. I don't want to see it. I don't want to get it. I want 20 points. You can do it here. You just got to find 2 more rounds, and F4. Got to admire the heart, right? We're going to see Marshy on top 10 area. Jetic again just putting the kills away, bro. 15 stacked deep. He's going to continue to run the tables. As long as Jetic is alive, there's a lot of hope here for this F4 roster.
Oh, you got to win that one, Sped. Come on, man. That was a big play for Bolu, though. Finds 2, and that's going to leave it up to Justin Jenik, who is going to find the kill onto Bolu. He's now in a 1 versus 2 versus Envy and Marshy. And looking at the scoreboard, Marshy struggling down at 2 and 6 right now. Envy at 5 and 5. But my dude in Jenik, I always hype this guy up as a Slayer for Search and Destroy, and he is bringing it to the table right now. 16 and 5.
I like how you said Justin Jenik in a 1v2 scenario, as if Jenik isn't playing the game as if he was 2 different people, bro. Like, literally, I don't believe anybody else has anything remotely close. Parrish has 10. But Jetic just a different breed right now, putting it all on the line. He's got the bomb in hand too. I'll take Justin Jenik in a 1v2 scenario over any other 2v2 scenarios in this matchup. I won't discredit my guy, CoScript, who has been popping off with the sniper, but when you look at the stats for Jetic, dude, he is just a beast. Gonna go ahead and get this bomb plant down.
This seems like a questionable spot to plant the bomb in a 1v2, though.
Yeah, it does, but hey, we'll see what he's got up his sleeve. His bomb is down. Tribe on the brink for a retake here. Could very well do so. Marshy and Envy trying to get this coordination down and packed. One slight move and the killer and Jetic himself could find you there. Marshy says, forget about it, Verdict. Shut your big mouth. That's going to be another round in favor of Tribe. They're going to be inching closer to a 2-0 series. Could very do so. Match point here.
Yeah, definitely looking for it. Tribe 1 round away from picking up the 2-0 win. This is a lot closer of a matchup than I would have expected leading in today. I mean, the hard point was too. As soon as it was F4 versus Tribe, I was like, man, this is going to be a 150-50 game. And then as soon as it was a 4 versus 5, I was like, man, this is probably going to be a 150-0, and that was just not the case. We do have Ingenic getting picked off by Marshy there, but Losty is fortunately for the side of F4 able to make the trade. Banned. He's going to come through and pick up another. It's now Losty and Sped in a 2 versus 4, and I just don't know if they have what it takes. Losty almost able to find 1, but Envy rotating through is going to find Sped with a ginormous triple.
Oh my God,
goodness.
Sped. Don't do it, Sped. It's Bolu. Play time, my guy. Don't repeat. Don't you repeat it. All right, you done so great here. Gonna get the the stun to hit possibly. No, Bolu has 15 seconds. He repicks. Oh my God, Sped with the 1v4 clutch of a lifetime. Check, clip it. We're gonna be putting that on Sped's refrigerator tonight, my guy. That is one for the ages.
Yeah, big play by Sped. I couldn't even switch over to him fast enough to get that 3-piece, but the quick fix that he got on those kills was absolutely nuts. And that is going to put us into a round 11 search and destroy between a 4 versus 5 F4 and Tribe respectively. Tribe are going to go ahead and they're going to get the B plant. I would love to see F4 pick this one up just to push us on through. And Jenik, he's pushing up. He finds Parrish. Marshy is going to pick up the kill onto Losty. Ooh, and Jenik getting shot from behind. Marshy going to clean it up, and that might be the end of the road for the Cinderella story that was F4.
Well, you know, based off of how Sped played last round, he wants blood, bro. He's going to find it here.
20 seconds to go, man.
And Bolu down. Marshy, staircase. Oh, Marshy. Perfect. CoScript, sniper at hand is going to get beamed, and that is it. You called it. Tribe take this 6-5. Much closer than it should have been, but hey, the reality of the story is every dog has their day, at F4 was just about there to get that one.
Yeah, what a game between these two teams. I can't believe that search and destroy was so close down to the wire. And again, F4, a reasonably strong search and destroy team, and even a good hardpoint performance out of them, despite all of the circumstances that were certainly stacked against them. You know, as we look at the board here, Ingenic absolutely cracked that match. 17 kills on the board, and Sped not far behind with 13. Losty down at 2. Man, if he would have picked up 2 more kills, that might have been a game 3 happening.
You know what? You couldn't have said it any better. Losty. Bottom of the barrels there. 2 kills. It's not going to cut it, especially against a Tribe roster who will exploit you for whatever kind of lacking you put on the table. And Tribe win it, by a hair, bro. Literally a 1v1 scenario or 2v1. I couldn't even remember. CoScript just very unfortunate. Wasn't able to pick up a secondary. Had Losty taken 2 down before he dropped, it might have been a different scenario. But, sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles. 4v5. Probably the most interesting matchup of our night, right?
That, surprisingly. I mean, I thought this was going to be a blowout through and through as we were looking at the games for tonight. And unfortunately, it is definitely going to be a short night for us. We had some forfeitures. We've had a couple 4v5s. And unfortunately for the side of F4, no game 3. That was well within their grasp for a long time there. And looking at the scoreboard again, Ingenic, my goodness, 17 kills against Tribe. Granted, they were playing with Bolu, who is still very much so handicapped. The rest of the team is just still, I mean, this is Tribe, I mean, Marshy is Marshy, Parrish is Parrish, Band is Band. I mean, I can't believe they were so close. And I'm a little heartbroken that they didn't come through, especially after the big plays that Sped and Ingenic were able to bring to the table.
Oh, absolutely. Ingenic. Marshy coming through saving face. Bro, these kids don't let me troll. Shaking my head. I know for a fact it was pumping their chest. Bro, you know what? It was a close game. It is what it is. Game 2, win your favorite. Tribe takes a dub. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if it's an inch or a mile. All right? Got to give credit where credit was due, and that was Ingenic, man. Ingenic, definitely the MVP of that search and destroy. 17 kills. What a carry.
Well, that is going to be it for our games tonight. We will hop on over to our results for the day, just for anybody who maybe joined. Unfortunately, just a very, very short day. We had Primal up against ARP. Unfortunately, they did have to 4 versus 5, and man, it was just not even close. It was a pretty big blowout in favor of ARP Gaming. Leading into our second matchup of the night, boom, it was Mafia X coming through with the win because Strike Zone have once again forfeited. And I'll have a lot to say about that here after the broadcast when we hop over to the spawn. But, jumping into the Shreddit versus NYSL, we waited about 10 minutes. Shreddit once again, I believe actually, so the scoreboard is wrong there. That should be NYSL Mayhem 2-0 and Shreddit forfeit. So hopefully one of the admins will get that fixed because that is not right. I mean, unless I'm just absolutely crazy, but
That could definitely be a possibility, but
I'm pretty sure Shreddit didn't show up, if I remember correctly. Yeah, blame Ronan.
Yeah.
Chat,
Yeah, we'll
if you guys
Ronan.
want to blame somebody, blame Ronan for sure.
Blame Ronan.
Hello,
If I would
B.
have lost that search and
Either of
destroy,
you?
we would have blamed Ronan too.
Yeah, B or hello, can you guys confirm that that should be a 2? Yeah, okay, there we go. It's getting fixed. Awesome. Not quite fixed hello, but it's better. There might have been a little bit of dyslexia on the fingers there. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it's better, but yeah, NYSL Mayhem going to pick up the 2-0 in the forfeit there. And obviously, any of you guys who were around for that last match saw how much of a banger that Tribe Gaming versus F4 was. Even for it being a 4 versus 5, that was an absolutely phenomenal match, especially the Search and Destroy. And yeah, I have no complaints about that one. That's probably the best matchup we could have asked for with what we were given, right? I mean, there's just no way that could have been a better search and destroy. But
Absolutely.
that's
Absolutely.
that for us tonight, guys. Verdict, as always, it's a pleasure to have you here, man. Much, much appreciated. Thank you to the admins. B and Hello were here tonight. And unfortunately for everybody in chat, it was a short one. Make sure you guys stick around for after the broadcast because it is going to be our NA version of the spawn. It's going to be me, it's going to be Zim, and it's going to be Nero from NYSL Mayhem. I have plenty of things to say about how horrible this North American scene was today.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
I am just so disappointed in North America as a region. This was more on that to come. More on that to come.
Go ahead and pour you a drink, my guy. Go ahead and pour
Right,
it out.
right.
Yeah,
We might be
pour it up.
having one for the spawn tonight, but that's going to be it for us tonight. I'll just pop in and let you guys know the matchups that we're supposed to have for Week 6. Out the gate, we'll have Primal versus Mafia X. I actually expect that one to be a pretty big banger. Strike Zone versus Explicit. Should Strike Zone show up? I don't think they're going to. I feel like Strike Zone has disbanded. ARP versus Shred It. And probably one of the biggest matchups you guys have been waiting for all season long. It's another rematch of Mayhem versus Arsenal. And I gotta say, Arsenal have been looking really good. The first time they played off in Stage 3, you know, in Masters, I mean, Arsenal able to come through with the win there. It was not the NYSL starting lineup. I fully expect, with how good Arsenal have been looking as well as how good NYSL Mayhem have been looking, that could be one of the hottest matches of the season if both teams show up with their A game. All right. That's going to be it for us tonight, guys. Like I said, stick around. As soon as this broadcast ends, we're going to go live with the spawn. It'll be me, Zim, and Nero. Thank you so much for stopping by. And one quick Season 5 trailer before you guys go.
Cold at the touch, dead in the eyes, no signs of life no more. I put your love under the knife. Leave me to die here all alone. No signs of life no more, no. A crying dove may never fly.
Let me.
No.
Alright, that should be the last time. You guys should have me now. I'm sorry. Yeah, we moved everything from Streamlabs to OBS Studio. It does look like Discord's picking it up now. I had to, for some reason, refresh this scene like 4 times, but it looks like it's picking it up. Am I right? Can you hear me now? Alright, it says it's all good now. Yeah, I am super disappointed in the NA scene today. I got to cast EU. We had awesome matches all day. It was the most put together EU has looked in weeks. We had an awesome spawn episode of EU with Plim from Cold Esports after that. And then we come into NA, and there's 2 forfeits and 2 4 versus 5s, and I am just honestly fucking disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much less to offer right now in North America. Europe's got a whole bunch of teams, a lot of players are available. We've talked about that before. Teams have gone through that roster change period. They're formed up. They're practicing for the next the next event now. So right now, I don't know. It's just a difficult spot all around for North America since teams are still not totally formed and waiting right now for Stage 4. And those of us who are in the Stage 4 events, some teams are going through roster changes still, and none of that's been solidified yet. So I think it's going to be a little bit before North America settles into some kind of form of consistency. But I guess we just have to see. North America for Mobile Mayhem definitely has been a little bit of a sham this season, though, unfortunately, with the teams.
Yeah, Chad, yeah, we've got the 18 plus on now. You guys can let loose a little bit. Mods, you know what's appropriate and what's not, so kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, I mean, from the looks of it, as far as I can tell, it looks like Strike Zone has completely disbanded. I don't know if you guys maybe know a little bit more about that than I do.
Yeah.
That's something I kind of have seen coming. Just because, I mean, they've forfeited 3 times in a row now, so it makes sense. We did have ARP step into the field, which has been pretty big for North America. They originally did not sign up for Mobile Mayhem because they wanted to, I mean, continue with their content creation, which was all fine and dandy. And then, I don't know if it had anything to do with Parka himself, but obviously ARP came from XRK, which was Zarka Gaming. And now with Parka not on the team, they have opted to join Mobile Mayhem. So I have to imagine it was mostly him holding them back, wanting to stream instead of have to end his stream for Mobile Mayhem. So that's at least a good sign that we have more competition coming into the NA Mobile Mayhem scene. I would love to see Trulian, but I also know that they have difficulty making the time frame that Mobile Mayhem happens in. So I get it. You know, I wouldn't want them to be in a situation where they're just forfeiting any days that they can't make it. So I don't know. I'm hoping we see something come out of NA because right now I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I know Parker's been doing a whole bunch of stuff on his own, so nobody really knows what's going on with Parker. Only he does and the people close to him. But I mean, ARP being in the event is kind of, I guess, their own decision. Rather more though, yeah, it's not a secret. North America sucks right now. There's not really too much to talk about there. Definitely not too much to talk about today. I think it was really interesting. The one thing that we can talk about, Tribe has looked fairly different with Albolu and Arsenal. Maybe it's not so much Tribe looking different as much as it is Arsenal now being knocked out of Stage 4 is taking it upon themselves to prove that they should be in Stage 4 and kind of jam off to those teams that don't deserve to be there by any means. But they're playing really well. Jingo's been playing absolutely amazing. Molly's been a super solid player for them. Others now, Saxy's on that team now, and he's doing fairly well for them. So the entire Arsenal roster.
We're the curse, bro. We're the curse. Deadass.
Seems that way, but the entire Arsenal
motherfuckers-
roster is doing well.
Well, sometimes that's just the case, right? Sometimes players just don't mesh. Like on paper, something can look good, and it doesn't always work out. And I do want to hand something real quick. Apparently, chat is saying it wasn't Parka that was keeping them from on Mobile Mayhem. I was just saying that's on the surface what it looked like, but I mean, I just cast Mobile Mayhem. I'm a fucking idiot otherwise. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely hoping that NA can get their shit together. Obviously, we've got what I think Stage 4 takes off in September. I think I was hearing earlier from Plim from EU.
Who is that?
He's the manager for Cold Esports.
No idea who that kid is. Cold? Who even is their roster? That's Jim's team now.
It's Jim's team, yeah. Yeah, Jim, Lydia, Dark Wizard. Strong team. I mean, do you have any other like update on when that's happening, Zim? Obviously, you get more info than I do for Stage 4.
For what? Oh, for Stage 4?
Yeah, just when.
No, I don't have those dates yet. No.
Okay. So still a little bit up in the air. I know at the end of Stage 3 they said it was probably 4 or 5, 6 weeks out, but doesn't look like we have too much information on that.
I would imagine August. I would imagine sometime this month later on, maybe
like
later
late
on
August.
This month. Yeah. I mean, I would imagine, but usually by this time last year we already knew. We were right around the corner about this time last year. So at the very least, they'll send you like
October.
Was it?
Last year it was October like 24th and 25th.
Oh,
I still remember, dude.
I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is that when Stage 4 was right about, they sent us an email and they got everybody in the server, and then they just torched everybody for a couple weeks, and then they released some announcements. They sent some notifications and some schedule stuff out, and then we didn't get the bracket until like remember Nero 2 or 3 days before we were supposed to play. We were asking for the bracket the entire time, and we are just like, yo, who are we playing? They're like, yeah, we still haven't decided on the format yet, and yeah, blah. But yeah, I have no idea what the timing is or the speed of it. I would guess, since things have been a lot quicker this year, maybe August, like sometime later this month. But that's just a total guess. I don't know.
Well, especially since we have Worlds to jam in before the end of the year too. So definitely looking forward to it.
Last year they wanted to do it for the holiday season, but with everything getting canceled and stuff, I don't know. And COVID's back on the rise again. Like a lot of some cities in Texas are getting closed down. A lot of places in Florida, are going under Stage 5 restrictions again. So we might possibly, like, God forbid, live in a world where our World Championship gets canceled again.
Yeah, that would be.
I hope so.
Don't say that, Nero. Come on now. There's so much on the line for you as a pro player. But yeah, I don't know.
Really? Is there really? I mean, if every single year you qualify, I mean, obviously you want the prestige, you want to go to the World Championship. But if every single year you're going to qualify, they're just going to give you free money and cancel it year after year after year. I mean, you take that and you don't lose anything besides the opportunity to play in the World Championship, you know?
Which is where everybody's really aiming for the bragging rights, right? And that's kind of unfortunate with where NA sits right now because, well, I mean, I guess it has changed up a little bit, right? So obviously, looking at last Masters, it was a Truly versus Tribe finals, and everything between now and then has actually quite drastically changed. I mean, Arsenal has actually looked really solid these past couple weeks. They took down Zygnus Esports from LATAM in a 3-0. I'm not sure if there was any like ping difference or anything there. I'm not in control of any of that, but it's a feat nonetheless, right? Zygnus is not a pushover team. And then they came through together on Tuesday and beat Tribe, and you guys as well during Stage 3 on NYSL. You guys beat Tribe 2-0 during Stage 3, so I think the NA scene has at least been shuffled up a little bit, at least in the past couple weeks, just because everybody was like, man, Tribe is the only good team in North America, and now there's a couple teams that have been able to come up and show, hey, maybe Tribe isn't undefeated, and even today, I mean, granted, I think there was a fair amount of trolling by the side of Tribe. There was no fucking reason whatsoever that 4v5 search and destroy needed to go all the way to round 11 with F4 only having 4 players.
I won't comment on that. Bro, but Arsenal, they almost beat us in Stage 3, and then we reverse swept them. But I mean, they almost beat us. They got reverse swept, and that's crippling, but they're not bad by any means. Like they are a team that are definitely better than Destiny
Than
Gaming or
ARP.
whoever's in their.
Yo, for
They're
real,
better-
Arsenal got
They're better
robbed.
than ARP. They're better than
I
ARP.
don't care what nobody says. They're way better than ARP. They're definitely better than that Destiny Gaming team or whatever's in the bracket. They're Destiny Gaming. That's the team that got the miracle bracket that Gene got last year. They played
Yeah.
straight up random after random after random after random after random up until they qualified, and then they got eliminated in like the semis or like the finals or no, not the finals, in like semis, one of the winners semis rounds. But
Dude, Moralto's team had it easy too.
yeah.
Yeah, they definitely
Well, also
they
seems to
definitely had a
they
miracle
have it as
bracket.
well.
I think it's pretty crap that there was no organization to that bracket based on me looking at it like the stage 3 bracket. Like they should have taken the teams that placed high in Masters and separated them out and not necessarily stacked the lineup, but I mean there's certain expectations, right, for the game battle side of things because Arsenal is way more qualified of a team to play in stage 4 and play for that world spot than honestly a rank warrior team that nobody knows and really only had a bracket full of other ranked warriors to play against. They didn't have one difficult matchup the whole way through. Meanwhile, Arsenal, they got kind of screwed getting thrown in a bracket with you guys in Tribe. Like, that is the shittiest shit end of the stick you could have got.
Well, last year they had, I don't know, they changed so much this year. Last year they had multiple stage 3 tournament. They had, was it 3 or was it 4 or was it 3? They definitely had
It was
3.
like
there was 4 of them, right? Yeah, there was 4 of them.
It was 3 because like the final one had like 4 teams qualified through, and like the first 2 only had 2.
Yeah, so the first two last year how it worked was you had to make it to the final of the qualifier, and if you made it, you qualified. So that's how qualifier 1. That's how Nova and the team that eventually became XSET qualified. They qualified to the first qualifier. The second one we won, and then I don't remember.
Evaders team.
Yeah, Evaders team played us in the final. They qualified, and then that should have been it. There were no more like announced qualifiers, and then they came out randomly, and they were like, "Nah, never mind. Here's another qualifier," and then they took 4 teams, so you didn't have to make it to the final, and they took the last 4. But I could have swore there was a 4th one. There must have not been, because they did. They did take 4 of the last one, and that's how they got the top 8. But my point is that last year there were more than one tournament, and in that way you kind of account for some of the bracket fuckery. The thing is that last year there was no double elim, right? So I guess for whatever reason they thought that the double elimination aspect of it kind of balanced it out, where if you lost early getting bracket screwed, you'd be able to theoretically redeem yourself later on. But it just ended up really unlucky that 3, if not 4 of the top teams got matched up within 3 rounds of each other on the same bracket, and yeah, it sucked for them. But discussing this is depressing, to be honest. They should have qualified.
It's definitely gonna make North America Stage 4 look just as bad as Masters started off, right? Like that's ultimately what is gonna end up happening. You're gonna have a lot of teams that, I mean, it's going to be a lot of like repeat Bad Batch-esque performances, right? You're going to have a lot of teams that probably realistically didn't deserve to qualify in place of some of the teams that didn't make it up against, teams that...
There's one team that's 100% who the hell, and then the other one that's like bad. It's not like they're Destiny Gaming weird or like random. They're like people that people know, but just like, why are you in this tournament? And then the other 6 are teams you would have expected to qualify. Still, obviously, the top heaviness, the North American top heaviness, you're still not comparing them to who the top team should be, but they're at least familiar names. It's literally just the one team that you're like, who are these kids? Just like Gene last year, and then that 5th place team that's like, yeah, I know them, but like, why? Why'd you even
Right.
Like Moralto's team.
Why'd you sign up?
Moralto's team. Right?
No, Moralto's
saying?
one of no, not Moralto's team. It's not Moralto's team. Let me actually
Explicit?
look at the bracket. It's not explicit.
What are you talking
Because the top 8, it's Tribe, us, ARP, Explicit, and that's the top 4-ish. Am I forgetting somebody? And then you have Meralto's team. Oh, I guess it is Meralto's team.
I told you.
No, because that's 5, and then there's 3 more teams.
Yeah,
So there's
Destiny
Primal.
Official Gaming.
Destiny's like Team 8. Who the
Right.
hell are they? There's 2 other teams. Who are the 2 other teams?
Do you have the bracket available?
Truly.
Truly,
Oh,
yep.
yeah,
So there's Truly, and then not Strike Zone because they got bracket screwed too. Who was it? Who's the other team?
And
No.
not that Strike Zone has anything going for them right now anyway with the team disbanding, so it's probably better that they didn't make it in at this point because over the coming weeks I don't see them having much practice together. So
Yeah.
Shit, dude, Vitaly was too good, dude. Like that's why he retired again.
Fuck, what's this team? I'm trying to think. Can't recall at all what this team is.
I tried to pull up the bracket, but the only thing I have left from game battles in my
I don't know why Strike Zone disbanded though.
Oh, the Bobby. should
Obviously
have it
they
on his
probably had
Twitter page.
something going on over there, or they just didn't want to play. But at least Arsenal playing well at the very least makes individual cases for them to try to get onto some of the stage 4 teams. People can drop people still, So
I mean, that's what Explicit is doing right now.
I think it's likely that some of them find their way onto some stage 4 teams. Like Jingo, definitely it would be silly if Jingo didn't get onto a stage 4 team.
Yeah,
Molly's
for
playing
sure.
really well. I think it would be silly if Molly didn't find his way onto a team. And then maybe like Clay, and the rest of them. I don't know. Somewhere.
Yeah,
It
it's definitely rough to see a couple teams that should have made it in over for sure at least Destiny Gaming, Destiny Official Gaming, but yeah, we'll have to see as we get closer. Obviously, Sylvia's right. There'll be roster changes that come along the way. There will definitely be some of the teams that are maybe less experienced that pick up, the likes of Veteran or Wolver or Jingo, Molly.
Better to get picked up before Jingo,
Like,
Molly, or
if you want me to be honest with you guys, like I think, like if you're Meralto right now, you're probably looking like, man, all of those Arsenal players would be great on my team right now. And
Molly and Meralto stay beefing. I don't think that would ever happen. No,
yeah, but Jingo, Clay,
maybe.
I don't know.
I mean,
I think you do what you got to do to try to pull some money out of it, right?
It's got to be a two-way thing. Like, Meralto might for sure be like, hey man, I've got a stage 4 team. Come join it. But at the same time, if it's like last year, you have to have the majority of the qualifying players. So it's not like Meralto could just drop everybody. Like you can't do that either.
Right.
Because they could just drop him. Like it doesn't matter who the captain is. Nobody owns the team. The majority of the players owns the spot.
Right.
So anybody at any point in time that isn't contracted and is just on a team and you happen to be qualified, you can get totally screwed out of the spot. So you've got to be careful if you're on one of these freelance teams as well. But
well, I mean, I just mean in general, they have consistently been unable to field a fifth in the first place. So there's at least one spot that is just
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Doesn't matter. And then there's one or two players on the team that have certainly been underperforming. And I don't really like to call anybody out, but Volky for them has been one that just doesn't matter if it's hard point, doesn't matter if it's search and destroy.
Dude.
He's just not.
He's fine.
No, he got like his first kill today in like the past 2 days. I think I saw.
Yeah.
Like the S&D.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. And again, I don't necessarily like intend to like bash him or anything, but it definitely feels more of like a friends with the team. They just wanted to get a team together, a roster together to play in Mobile Mayhem and in Masters, and it's been a struggle. It's definitely been a struggle, and I don't know. I'm a big Meralto fan. I wish big things for him. I always wish the best for him, but the team that he's on right now just ain't cutting it. Again, the biggest thing is they have like a 7-person roster and they couldn't field a fucking 5th player today. or Tuesday for that matter. I think, if I remember correctly. I think the
Even
first match they actually got like an extra minute or two to get a fifth player in. So
That was Volky, I think, and he got like
E-
0 kills. So like it was like basically like a 4v5 again, or still.
even Moralto though can leave and join another team. 'Cause he's qualified. You don't have to be qualified for stage 4 to play in stage 4. This is why people like Arsenal can join an
Right.
explicit or something.
Right.
But I think Moralto. I don't know if they thought about that. Moralto could join explicit. If they explicit, they should pick up Moralto and Jingo, and just like wrap it up. That's it.
explicit
Submit
should.
your yeah, submit your roster. Pick up Moralto, pick up Jingo, submit your roster. And I think
I'll
that
tell
that
you
would be
what, if you've got
good deal.
Moralto on your lineup and you are on search and destroy standoff, you have an absolute ace in the hole, just ready to go. But unfortunately, you can't rely on that every time. So hopefully, but yeah, I mean that is the case too, right? Like Moralto could get himself on another team, and again, we have all those players from Arsenal that just got royally fucked by game battles. At least the way the bracket worked out. And I would expect, with the way they've been playing, I would expect at least 3 of them to probably be looking for a team together, right? Like as a package.
Yeah. It the thing about game battle, it was double fuckery because they got fucked by the bracket 2 times. Winners bracket, first fuckery, and then they got bent over a second time, got fucked in the losers bracket because
And then the third time, right?
we we beat them, and there was no other team. They went and played Tribe immediately in the losers bracket, first round in the losers bracket, and then after they lost, Game Battle sent them a message and was like, "Yeah, Tribe's not eligible to play in stage 4, so you guys can play in like a play-in for the spot." So they were, they had their hopes up, and they're like, "All right, let's do it." And then they were playing well that day. They continued. They got back on. They were playing well through the rest of the day, and then Game Battles went, "Never mind, Tribe's allowed to play." Just doubly
Yeah,
smashed their dreams.
that was also
was
another really brutal
horrible
incident.
thing. Like, you don't do that. You can't do that, man.
You almost have to like question on the game battle side, right? Like who was the one that authorized yeah, go ahead and put it out there that Tribe is disqualified and they can't compete. Just to 30 minutes later come back and be like, yeah, we were trolling. Tribe is good to go. So
Yeah, those admins that were communicating with
not
the
communicating.
teams on live well, those that were. Yeah, but those that were communicating through live support are not the same admin. They're not the supervising admins that were overseeing Masters from game battles as well. And like the Masters people that we were in contact with, they were people from Activision Blizzard. There were also people from game battles, the supervising admins, and some of the referees and for the different arenas there, and also some consultants from the CDL. So I don't know where the fuckery was, but that's not time or the place for the fuckery. You can't do that.
Yeah,
It just blows.
it's been a rough past like month and a half for NA, right? I mean, I thought EU was looking pretty in shambles, but EU has largely got their shit back together. They have a couple. Looking at EU, it is hard to like imagine one of those rosters not going to Worlds, and there is 4 like super stacked EU rosters that I'm like, I don't know how familiar you are with EU, Zim, but like for anybody in chat that knows the EU scene, like
Yeah.
thinking that there's a chance that we don't see Grizz and Toby and Ghoul from Stamina make it to Worlds is rough. But it's like you look at the opposition and it's like, well, Oxygen has Shark and Marvel and Leader and Balance, and Anarchy has Veer, Miney, Head for Death, Creed, Donlai, and Cole, Jim, Dark Wizard, Tilt, Lydia, Slayer, Kosh, Sav. Like, those are all super stacked rosters that on any given day of the week, they could come to the field and they could beat each other, right? Like, there's no clear winner in that matchup. The one edge that I would give, and I did mention this earlier on the EU spawn as well, is that Stamina, their roster is at least somewhat the same, whereas all these other rosters have, like, kind of formed super rosters. And I feel like that's probably partially what NA is going to look like here in the coming weeks, specifically with like the remnants of your Arsenal rosters trying to like put together a super team last minute under the Primal name or whatever it may be. So it's kind of hard to say. Because Arsenal has looked great these past 2 weeks. I mean, they've looked phenomenal these past 2 weeks. They've made some changes. They've put a lot of practice in. I know I've talked to Jingo a little bit here and there, and they have really been trying to work the kinks out because they want to prove that they're a team that has to be taken seriously. And again, all things considered, without having one of your top fraggers and IGL on Tribe, the Tribe roster still won Masters without Bolu, right? That's not a pushover team by any sense of the word. And Arsenal came in and were able to turn around the hardpoint big on Tuesday, and then honestly slapped Tribe in the search and destroy. I mean, there were a couple rounds that Tribe picked up, but for the most part, it did not at any point during those matches feel like Arsenal weren't in control of the pace of the game.
So against that.
I think AR is like the only team that's like beating us on SND.
Unlike scrims.
No, in Masters, like stage 3, like we lost the SND. So then like we were down like 2-0.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well, I think
like 6-5.
Yeah, I think personally, I think you guys are the strongest search and destroy team as far as consistency goes in North America.
I'm
Hands
so good
down.
on SND. Nah, I'm so good on SND. I don't care what anyone says. Not like Bolu knows. Fucking, I used to be like a freak on Florida, so. And like once I got like my headphones, I just started like sounding my ass off on SND. So I don't know, it's just like natural.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely a super valuable player on the NYSL lineup, Nero, and that's one of the things I was super excited about when I was telling Zim. I was like, hey, we need to start lining up some players for the NA spawn. He was like, I want Nero on. I was like, okay, when? He was like, as soon as possible. I was like, all right, let's do it. So no, you are a huge staple player to that roster, and you're not always the top frag, but you are like a super objective player, and even with that being said, these past couple weeks, you have been playing mad objective and also slaying out crazy. So, huge props to you.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I had a higher KD than Little B overall in Masters.
Yeah,
there was like a one, and like I don't know, like I was like looking at like Little B dude, like, and I was like asking him like what was wrong,
Well,
and then, he just like.
Yeah, I heard on the back end of it that Little B also knew he underperformed pretty hard, which, in my opinion, from watching some Little B streams, is I obviously don't talk to him as much as you guys do, right? You watch his streams, and he's definitely a pretty cocky player, right? Like it's never his fault when something goes wrong, but definitely heard through the grapevine that he put himself through the ringer a bit after Masters. So,
Oh no, trust me, I've been like getting on his ass because of that.
well, that's
like I should have gotten shat on in Masters, to be honest. So like when like Tech showed me my like KD, I was like mind blown.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a good personality trait for when you underperform like that to understand and recognize that and know that you need to push yourself to better yourself. So I think that's a big thing you guys have going for you there. Obviously, you guys are one of the teams that has had fewer roster changes than most. And you guys have been looking solid, right? I mean, you guys have been looking like a lot of the kinks and issues you guys were running into maybe in the past have been definitely worked out. Absolutely no. I'm not saying anything bad about Saxy here in saying this, but he's a strong player when he does show up, but the inconsistency wasn't there. And to me, looking from the outside in, he just didn't seem to mesh really well with the team. And you guys kind of referred to it as the curse a little bit earlier because obviously, like the likes of Molly, Saxy, and Jesus are all former players you guys have that are looking good right now. And that's sometimes just the case, right? Sometimes players just don't play well together, even though on paper you're like, man, this should be good. Whether it's personalities that clash, whether it's the gameplay style just being a little different to where it just makes things clunky. And you guys obviously have brought Leon back in quite a bit. And Awaken, I think, has refined himself, his own individual gameplay. You can definitely tell that through watching him, he puts a lot more towards objective. I definitely think there's a lot of players that could put more objective time up for NYSL, but It definitely seems Awaken plays a little bit less for KD now, and has adapted his gameplay really, really well to how the team plays.
Wait.
Awaken?
Awaken, who? I don't know.
Awaken.
I like
Awaken, I mean-
literally, cause like I get
Yeah.
like, I feel like the only time we win is like whenever I win like all my engagements on Hill, and like that's what I keep like. No, I know like literally no like against Tribe in stage 3, like we were getting shat on like because I was like losing like every engagement, like, and I just thought, and like the last 3 hills I just started winning every gunfight, and like I was just getting all the hill time, and like I keep telling the team, but like they keep baiting me, and like that's why I leave mid scrim. Cause like I was like Zim's over here talking about how like I'm gonna get like dropped and stuff, husband.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Cousin.
throw it out there that you are too important of a player to get dropped, in my opinion. As
No, I've never
as a
told you that.
spectator, as a spectator, right? Like
Shut
I look at it
shut
and
your dumb ass up. I've
Nero,
never told you that.
you are a ginormous anchor for the side of NYSL, and I don't mean that in like the sink the ship kind of way. I mean that in like your objective plays, and specifically the way you've been fragging out lately has just been absolutely huge for NYSL. It's part of the reason that you guys have looked so good. Again, Arsenal have looked pretty good the past couple weeks. Truly looked really good in Masters. We obviously don't get to see them on screen as much. I'm sure you guys know a little bit more through probably scrims with them, how they're doing, how their roster's looking and such. But yeah, it's definitely rough to see Arsenal not get in. I expect to see them branching out into some of the other teams, maybe a couple of them jumping in with maybe Primal. Definitely rough to see Strike Zone disband as well, because when this season started, the season of Mobile Mayhem, and I was looking at Strike Zone's kind of newly formed roster, and I'm like, Vitali, Lewis, God, Saints, like, on paper, that seems like a team that should dominate Search and Destroy against most teams in North America. And just for whatever reason, they haven't showed up to their games. I don't know what's going on their end, but I was super hyped for Strike Zone coming into this season. I'm mega disappointed in them for not having shown up. And
I don't
not
think
just
I've
having
ever
bad games, just them not showing up at all. Like literally not coming to tournament day.
Yeah, I don't think I've been hyped for anything Vitali's been a part of since Critical Ops Hammers, and that's really it. And it really wasn't because Vitali was the person I was like, oh my god. It was because Blue Ice was so good, High was so good, God at the time, Aquila, whatever, he was a top player. The Hammers team was great. Vitali was there, and then there was this other guy, Fish. But I mean, that's the last time. That's the last time I've ever. Oh, lies. Totality, when he was on Totality briefly, but even then, it wasn't the Vitali show. It was the Tectonic and Blue Ice show, and then they dropped Vitali and a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, like no, Vitali, he's a veteran. He's somebody I don't expect to not qualify for tournaments. Like I think he's great enough to qualify. And then expect.
But that's
nothing.
it.
Yeah, just qualify. Qualify, play the matches, but get in though. Like see him through the course of the year. Lewis too. Like a lot of people talk weirdly about Lewis, but Lewis is one of those people that you need on every single team. Just somebody
I'm
who
Lewis,
will
dude.
play the point.
I
Somebody who will
I
play
think
the point.
Lewis
That's
is a
difficult.
I think Lewis is a super slept on player. In all honesty, like
I mean, I don't think he's slept on. I think he's thought about exactly how he should be thought about right now. But I just think that he's more valuable than people let on. Like playing the objective is not something that people want to do. Like it's not sexy at all. And people no, it really isn't. And for whatever reason, people people want to have this idea of what a Slayer is, and like I want to go get kills, but like I hate to shit on everybody's party, but the people with the most engagements are the people playing the point. Like if you're going to, if you really want to top frag every single game off engagements and have more opportunities than everybody else to get those kills, play the point. Try to do it there. Be valuable there on the scoreboard and help out there. But you've got way too many people in North America right now that think it's a solo show and they want to go and do the things that they want to do. But
yeah,
Well,
I
think
agree.
it's
I mean,
TDM, dude.
yeah, people like Nero and Lewis, very, very valuable to their teams.
Sam Lewis again or what?
I definitely think that playing the objective is one of the most valuable positions that any team can have. But it also offers a lot of opportunity to kind of like be the most flashy clutch up player, right? Like if you look at like a hard point and you're on standoff, you're on P2 in the little tin 2-story back by gas station, right? Nero,
Mhm.
you know, 9 times out of 10, your job is going to be stick around for those last 10 seconds, hold the enemy off as long as you can, and then ideally when you die, you're going to respawn with the team who has hopefully secured anchor for blue, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what you're looking for. Now that gives you that big opportunity, like you were able to pull off on Tuesday, where you know you're hanging around that point, picking up that last 15 seconds of trickle time, and boom, there's a triple kill that I think goes unnoticed because a lot of people are looking at, oh, hey, you know, both these teams are starting to set up for next. Let's look at these gunfights. And here Nero is in the back, you know, dropping bodies. I think he went like 16-5 or something like that as the OBJ player. Like, that's fragging out in a big way. And that's not only playing the OBJ for your team, but that's actually delaying the opposition, their rotation to OBJ at that point as well. So, it's definitely a huge position that I think a lot of people look at it and they're like, you know, I don't want to be the OBJ bitch, but it's one of the most important, if not the most important role to fill on a team. So having a strong OBJ is one of the best assets a team can have in a game like Call of Duty.
Yeah. I think I'm kind of glad that like Zim is my coach because like I don't know, like most people hate like picking up like the bomb on S&D, but I love picking up the bomb. I don't know. It's just like
That was one of the things that I told Nero from the very, very beginning that I knew that Nero just naturally had a knack to want to contribute to the scoreboard, and if you watch S&D, a lot of teams, they don't. A lot of teams, not every team, but a lot of teams, like whoever runs and just happens to run over it is the guy that's planning. But in S&D especially, you want things to be as similar from map to map as possible, and it just made sense telling Naro, look, I'm gonna give you the rock and give you the opportunity to kind of, you know, be that big point for us on offense, and he's really taken it. He's been creative with it, and he's done a good job. So, I don't know. I just thought that was natural when I saw that.
Yeah, I definitely got to respect the drive to pick up that bomb and search and destroy. Because whenever I play COD, I know if I touch that bomb, it's a death wish for me, and I usually die in some like super fucking inconvenient spot for the team where it's like the bomb is in the middle of nowhere. The enemy team like openly knows the bomb is there. They're all setting up, and it's definitely a very strategic position to play because you have to play the right angles where if you do get picked, your team is able to you know, get the refrag, pick up the bomb, and be in a position where you are setting them up to win. Even through death, you can set your team up to win as an OBJ player. So it's definitely huge.
mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, dude. This guy in the chat's just a full blown.
Passive.
Full-blown,
He's a little bit of a troll. He's a good guy.
I don't know.
He's a good guy.
I don't
I
know
like.
if that's troll. If that is troll, that's solid troll. But if that's not troll,
It's
you
troll.
need to check into a
It's
mental
troll.
facility.
What is it?
Passive.
He's
Yep.
like, if you're a sniper, bomb carriers have to be snipers. Rah, 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 rah.
Nah, it's troll for sure. Passive is a troll, but he's a good guy.
That's where I saw Nero body shooting and going negative in hardpoint. He does
That's
that.
Nero.
Yes.
That's Nero.
Yeah, that's just what he does.
Every time I spectate him in game, if he's getting a kill on somebody, he's shooting the body.
I mean,
No, like we lost.
imagine.
When like we lost on Sunday to Tribe and Masters, I think like on like the last hill, everyone was all like depressed, but like I was still like shooting. I think it was like Child's body in courtyard, and like
Sometimes
Yeah.
I'm like Nero. Like we're on a super, and we'll be in like a scrim or whatever, and we're in a super like tight game, super important transition, like where it's like you must pay attention to this transition, and you're working through this transition. The first kill you get in the middle of it, great, you got it, but complete the transition, and Nero will like see the first guy. He'll kill the first guy in the middle of the transition. He'll be like the lead man on the transit, the furthest person pushed on the map for us on the way to the next point, and he'll just stop everything that he's doing in a super tight game, shoot the body and die, and it's like hilarious. But then I'm like, come on, Nero, like that's funny. Continue to do that, but we kind of needed you to not do that. And he's like, ah, fuck this guy. I'm shooting his buddy. He sucks. That's
Yeah,
funny.
it's definitely a bit spicy. I'm glad we don't DQ for that in Mobile Mayhem or in Masters. I don't even remember what was the name. What was that tournament that?
The
Throwback Throwdown,
The Throwback
courtesy of
Throwdown.
yours truly, the
That's
Tribe,
right.
the Tribe Gaming.
Interesting.
Michael Valor with the disqualification on Tribe.
Yeah, that
He
was
blamed it on- and
that
then he
was
blamed it on Activision, and it was capped.
pretty bizarre. But I guess shit happens. That's the past. Everybody's looking forward to stage 4. Everybody's looking for each of these regions. Who's gonna grab that last world spot and potentially be in the that holiday season Worlds event if it happens, right? Like again, we kind of hit on earlier. A lot of places have COVID on the rise right now, and that is not good for LAN event. That is a big negative for sure.
Well, I mean, I don't think that there's a world where they do it in California. California's getting hot again. I don't think that they could do it. I mean, think of all the major markets right now where you would host an event of this kind of caliber, and that's keeping in mind that that it stays domestic, because it's always traditionally domestic to us, right? New York's creeping back up there. Florida, like Miami's just bad. Miami's really bad. Austin, some places in Austin just totally shut down. I'm pretty sure that I just saw that they were stage 5 lockdown, and they're closing everything
I mean,
again.
to be fair, all of
Cali-
these specific places are like super high population density, right? Like that is,
I understand,
but that's also where the events would be held. So I get it.
That's where the big venues are.
Right.
So it's not to say there aren't venues that are capable of hosting it, but in the history ever, you see these big. You see Anaheim, you see Dallas, you see Fort Worth, you see Philadelphia, New York, you see Miami, you see all this other stuff, and I just don't know how realistic that is. I hope that COVID doesn't kick us in the ass again, but that's just for time to tell.
Yeah, me too, because I'm super excited for a LAN. Even if I don't get to cast it, I'm gonna do everything in my power to go because, I've been fortunately blessed enough that the CoDM community likes me for the most part, right? Like, everyone usually has nice things to say about me casting. I've met a lot of really awesome people on all the teams. Like I said, I'm a huge Meralto fan. Jingo's my homie. Obviously, I talked to a lot of the people on Mayhem. I'd love to meet up with Nero and use them. Well, you especially, Zim, right? Like because
we're actually going to the World Championship, the COD League World Championship. You should probably pull up and we can probably meet up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dennis, you should consider it. It's the 18th through the 23rd.
Yeah, definitely something I'm looking forward to. I definitely hope we get to go. Zim, I've known you for fucking
years now.
5 years, 5 years now or some from back in the Vainglory days, but yeah, I would love to go to a LAN. So many players I want to meet. Jingo, love you too, dude. You're a homie. You're a true homie. But yeah, Tech, like I definitely got to meet Tech, dude. I owe that dude so much. I ragged on him so hard the first season of Mobile Mayhem. And part of that is like everybody hyped me up to Tech, right? Everybody was like, yo, Tech is the greatest player in North America. And then the rest of his team was switching to phone that season, like in weeks, and everything was just not going well. And it is definitely hard to shine as an individual when the rest of your team is struggling. And fortunately, a lot of the players who at the time were making that transition to phone and were struggling have gotten through that period, and there's definitely a lot of really high competition now that we're in that hard lock on phone scene. And I don't know, I'm big excited for it. Definitely big excited for it.
Nero might have a different opinion, but I think that like us having forced each other to switch to phone when we did back on Tribe was probably long term, looking back now, the best decision they could have all made at that time for what we were about to go into, because there was a lot of like controversy around that. We still had Mobile Mayhem. There was no announced rule that it wouldn't be iPad. People were still kind of holding on to it. Nova at the time, the Vitaly Saxy team, they were still on iPad. Everybody was still on iPad playing. We were the only team, and for seasons upon seasons, we were the only phone team in North America playing against everybody on iPad. Some phone players here and there, but every major team on iPad, and we got a lot of flack for that. But it's one of those things that the audience just doesn't really understand that there are deeper goals you're working towards, and sometimes you have to bite those bullets. But I think that they're better off now, especially since they never switched back and they continued to play the whole time, than had they did exactly what all the other teams were doing and stayed on iPad and wasted time. But that's just my opinion.
I agree. I mean, there's definitely I saw a lot of players that come Masters starting up when they were like, yeah, you can use iPads to qualify. I saw a lot of players in their personal streams where they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna play on iPad. It's allowed. It gives me an advantage. And you guys know well enough.
Space-
I sat there for a
They
long.
all
Space got
Yeah,
memed.
space.
They-
Yeah, space.
Space got memed hard. Like the moment the notification hit the phones and people saw it, everybody was in the Masters server tagging Space. Ha 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 ha. iPad, you suck. Ha ha ha.
I'll tell you what. He's made one of the fastest transitions to
Oh yeah,
phone
man.
that
He
I've
needs some
seen.
respect. He's
Yeah.
been on phone for
Weeks.
Like a
most
month,
Masters,
like a month.
A month?
No,
A month
I know, but he
now?
hasn't even played any, dude. So like
A month
so
and a
probably
half,
like
and yeah, he hasn't been starting. He hasn't been playing consistently, with the playing time. Which honestly, mistake on our end. We should give him a lot more time than he gives, and we're definitely doing that. But considering the time that he's had, number one, to switch, and how his hand, because he has like really bad arthritis in his hands too. So there's deeper reasons why he wasn't on phone to begin with.
Right.
He's on iPad because it helps his hand, like it's more comfortable for his hands. So for him to, Space is a grinder. So for him to play on a phone, extremely uncomfortable, like health wise, it's hard for him. It's very difficult. Sometimes he has to do it with a brace on, and then be where he is right now with the time and be at the level that he's at right now, it's amazing. And he's somebody that I think if he sticks with it, developmentally, like he's made that switch quicker than every
Than me?
single person ever,
than me,
besides like Brian or maybe
Bowler.
no, like Brian and Nero. Like Brian and Nero are the two people that I think did it like that quickly.
Fuck no.
It just didn't matter. No, what do you mean, Nero? For you, it didn't matter.
Didn't matter, but I was getting shat on.
Brian, it took like a week, 2 weeks.
No,
think
dude,
about that.
Brian. No, dude, like Brian, it took him like
If
3
not
hours.
even that time. Yeah, if not
The
even
hours.
that time.
No, literally.
Oh, no, it took Brian at the very least a good week before he was comfortable, like where he was like, okay, I'm good. Little B, it took so long. And Little B's a
It
really
took him
good
a
player.
whole year, dude. It took him a whole year.
Childs initially didn't want to, like, he hated phone. He wanted to stay on iPad. He hated phone, but he did it. He did it in a fairly respectable time. Bolu did it in a respectable time because I believe he was a phone primary, and then he happened to play on iPad for a while. But he did it in a respectable time. Marshy was always a phone player, so there was no problem there. But yeah, it's tough for iPad people to go to phone, especially if you have the health problems that Space has. So he does it really nicely.
Yeah, I definitely
So-
got to give him props for that for sure.
I still miss it.
The
What?
iPad?
Yeah.
Sometimes he just like lays down next to it and just says like later on, like in a year.
So the wrong people
In
were
the
switching,
off-season.
dude. Like Zaya and Mago, like what the fuck? Like if I was switching to iPad now, dude, I would have nuked them.
What do you think about that, Dave? What do you think about switching to iPad in events that don't restrict it to qualify? Things like stage 3.
I think it's a waste of time, honestly.
Yeah, but if you get that qualification spot and you knock somebody else out, somebody like Arsenal who stayed phone and they deserve it, how do you?
Well, then you're a
I
dickhead.
mean,
I mean-
is it then really a waste of time?
I mean, again, you're not making the COD mobile scene look better. So in the long run, you're probably hurting the scene more than you're helping it for the memes, right? But I mean,
If you're them, do you give a single fuck? Because you're in the tournament. They're like other people aren't.
probably not. But I mean, again, you're gonna knock a team out. Which I mean, in the Arsenal case, right? It wasn't some fucking iPad team that knocked Arsenal out, right? It was Mayhem and Tribe, like the shittiest bracket you could get as a team.
Yeah.
In that whole game battles bracket. It wasn't Destiny official gaming, the iPad ranked warriors who
Wasn't in their
came
hands,
through
yeah.
and knocked Arsenal out of the like that wasn't the
Yeah.
case, right? So
Yeah. No, they wouldn't be playing. They'd be disbanded.
right, yeah.
That'd be a fat disband.
Yeah, that's definitely definitely not a big case there. I mean, are there some cases where it could happen? Maybe some of the lower end phone teams lose to some of the higher end iPad teams. Sure. How much does that affect the scene? Probably less than a 5% margin. And yeah, I don't know. I think the big thing for NA is a year from now, or even 6 months from now, NA looks way stronger. Just in 6 months alone, you have the likes of Vague, Slothy, Forsaken, Washi, all coming back to the competitive scene. And even the big thing for Slothy, right? Because I think he actually just turned 18 or turns 18 soon or something like that. Like, he's obviously ineligible for reasons past. I don't know if we need to go back into that too much. It's been something that obviously we've hammered on a lot everywhere forever.
When actually does that run out?
I think winter season.
Winter, which is
It was
right around the
3 seasons. It was one for each
It
event.
was 3 seasons. I just didn't know. We're in the second one, I think, right?
I
Or are
think
we
so.
in the third season? Yeah.
We're definitely not in the third. Yeah,
Yeah,
Chat says
we're
Slothy
definitely
turned
not
18 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I know we're not in the second one. So
December. Slothy will be
Yeah,
unbanned in
but,
December. So, depending on when the winter season starts, he may or may not be viable for that. But I don't know. That's big talent, right?
Do you think that would change? Do you think that would change Tribe's roster? Do you think that they would invite him back to the Mobile Mayhem team?
I think there's definitely a case for it. It's hard to say because there's going to be an influx of probably 2 full teams worth of good players coming into the scene. And
Not by December.
What was that?
Not by December.
No, it'll probably be 1 team's worth of
Slothy,
players
you've
by
got me.
December, but then a year from now.
Yeah,
I mean, this time next year we'll be looking forward to high come winter. We'll be coming back into the scene. So.
High's what, 16 right now?
16 going on 17 or something like that soon.
Yeah, well, next year we'll be looking forward another
Right,
year.
exactly. At this time next year, we'll be like, man, High, he's coming up, man. He's getting ready to be there.
By then, High will be like 17 years old, flipping burgers at a McDonald's, not playing COD Mobile.
He'll be like, man, I gotta work this McDonald's job to get the newest Red Magic so I can compete again.
Oh god. No, but yeah.
Yo,
I'm
is
excited.
Minwoo really 14?
Minwoo is young. Minwoo is very young.
Yeah.
So that's Goku.
Who?
Do you remember Goku?
Who?
Goku from Fierce.
Hell nah.
It was like Fierce.
Hell nah.
It was like Fierce or one of these other teams. One of the other like old Mayhem teams, like Omen Challenger Series teams. Throwback. Holy shit.
Wasn't he on like F4? Minwoo?
He was on F4. Yeah, yes, under the Minwoo name, but when he was Goku, he was, I think on Fierce.
Arsenal, I think.
Like one of those. Maybe, I don't know. He was on one of those. He was one of those like Rage teams.
That's good to know because I didn't know that was the same person.
Evil too. Yeah, no, that's Goku. Evil as well. Evil is.
Dude, he's like 13.
So, yeah, he's 13. So he's. Let's do the math real quick. When he'll be eligible, he'll be in.
COD Mobile 3 will be out.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious.
What about God, what was his name? Mike something. Mini Mike?
Oh, Main Mike?
Main Mike. How old is Main Mike?
16.
Like 16?
15, 16, yeah.
Does he still play at all?
No, that I know of.
Oh.
I saw him on some random amateur team playing in some random community tournament not too long ago, a couple months ago, but I don't think
I'm gonna get roasted for the Mini Mike comment forever
now.
now.
Yeah. He doesn't play competitively anymore at the current moment in any big tournaments.
Looks like Bandit and Tectonic are saying he plays
Yeah,
Apex now.
homies. People say that he's playing Apex right now. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sneaky, did Sneaky quit? Sneaky?
Nah,
I've
Sneaky
seen
still
Sneaky.
plays.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I've
was about to
seen
say I
I'm like-
definitely saw Sneaky online in someone's stream a couple days ago. I don't remember whose stream it was, but someone was like, "Was that Sneaky?" And I was like, "That looks like Sneaky's name."
Sneaky's somebody who like people really stopped talking about quickly because remember there was 2 seasons. He won Rookie of the Split, Sniper of the Split, and like came in third or something for MVP voting that one season day. The next season won Sniper of the Split again, and then everybody was like, "Oh my gosh, Sniper is the best sniper!"
Yeah.
When it was like Little B, Swag, Sneaky, and Co. And then
Well, we had like a solid
idea.
top 3 at the time where we were like, these 3 are at the end of the season gonna be your snipers, right? Like it was pretty obvious, and we've definitely had the scene mix up a little bit in between there. Like obviously last season it was, I mean Washi just absolutely dominated the sniper field, absolutely, and that was a
So,
pretty big mix up, and he's again another talent that we're missing in North America right now because he's underage but turning 18 soon. So we should be seeing him probably come winter season, I believe.
yeah,
So
yeah, it's just definitely good stuff to look forward to.
yeah,
Who knows?
yeah,
Time will tell.
I'm definitely excited for the future of North American COD Mobile, just in the fact that we're going to have more talent that I know will stick through. You know, your likes of, no matter how trolly Seminole is, right? Like, no matter how much they don't give a fuck right now, or it seems like they don't, just because, you know, again, they get into matches and they take me up on the 1911 challenge, or they load into the domination and they're all rocking a no attachment ICR, or whatever the case may be. You know, as soon as they're eligible to play, they're going to be hard grinding. They're COD fans through and through, and a lot of them are, you know, again, going to be eligible here come winter. Slothy will be unbanned. Vague is turning 18. I think Forsaken turns 18 as well. So there's a lot of talent
I think
coming.
Jez too. Jez.
Jez, yep, Jez.
Forsaken's he's
He might be
2
he might be
years- he's
early
2 years.
2022 actually.
Yeah, he's 2 years. He's not.
Jesus Christ.
He's 2 years. He
Oh.
just turned 17. I think not too long.
Gotcha. So
I think
maybe
it's
by like
17. What's-
summer of 22 then.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Definitely a lot of talent coming. Definitely what I'm excited about because the letdown today in NA just was shitty. It just sucked. Nobody wanted to watch. Well, first of all, we're supposed to have 4 matches on stream, right? Like the fact that we only saw 2 was bad enough, and then the fact that those 2 were 4 versus 5s just honestly sucked. It was just I didn't even feel like being there, if you want me to be honest with you. It was I stuck around for it, and I'm glad I did because the again the Tribe versus F4 matchup was at least the search and destroy. Tribe was definitely maybe not trying their hardest, but it was hard to sit through and not trash talk NA the whole time. I mean, I did it, but man, it was definitely not easy. We were on the edge of trash and NA the whole time. You know, a big thing is the responsibility factor, right? If you're gonna sign up for a tournament, like show up. I mean, especially like the players on the teams that are good, right? Like you can be on a team with total shitters, but if you come in and show a good performance yourself, you know, hey, maybe some of these other teams that are struggling to get a good fifth in, maybe they pick you up, and now you're on a team that actually has a chance to make it somewhere, a team that has a chance to show what you're capable of. And
that's
when
Wachi's story.
yeah, for sure.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, because Washi
I
came in
mean,
on
game
8
players.
Kings. Washi came in on 8 Kings. Their first matchup on screen was against Tribe, who was dominating the entire region at the time, right? Like that was just the reality of what was happening. And here Washi is, 44 kills on the board in the search and destroy, or I mean 44 kills in the hard point, and then like another 15, 16 kills in the search and destroy, just absolutely popping people off at the snipers. So that was absolutely the story of Washi. You're right. I mean, he came in on a team that didn't go anywhere, and then he went on to play for Zygnus, and I'm willing to bet the second he turns 18, he has offers from 5 or 6 North American teams that are looking for a good sniper talent. So, um, get your team. Doesn't matter if your team is shit. Like Bad Batch got nuked 3 times in Masters. Dude,
Yeah.
I give Bad Batch
Like
more
4
credit than I'll
times.
ever give Strike Zone, right? Like Bad Batch showed up and took their ass whooping, like. Granted, there may be some factors I don't understand on why Strike Zone's not showing up, right? Like there could be team issues, they may not be able to make the time. I don't know what the case is, but Bad Batch showed up and they took their fucking L like a champ, and I give them way more credit for any of that than anybody else does.
You know what it is to like sit in the lobby against the top team when you're Bad Batch. You just know after the second time you've been nuked, you're like, I'm gonna get my shit nuked again. And then those first few kills go through, and it's nothing but the kill feed for the other team, and you're just like, I gotta sit in this game for another 10 minutes. That's brutal.
But again, they signed
Yeah,
up and they showed up, and I give mad respect for that. They were in a shit position, they qualified, and then COD was like, hey, those iPads you qualified on, yeah, we don't give an F, you're playing on a phone. And Bad Batch was left in a shit situation, and they still showed up and they took it. They knew they were going to
Were
be
they
on
on
stream. They qualified on iPad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. So Bad Batch, they may be a rockin' iPad ranked team, but when it came to them being on phone, I give them more credit than anybody else for showing up, knowing what they were going up against, at the disadvantage that they had on their device capabilities, and I would rather see a team show up and take an L, and again, individual players that may be able to shine, and maybe they look for another team. Give them that opportunity, especially if you're on the roster with them, right? Like you can be your iPad warrior that is now switching to phone doing bad. If you've got someone on your team that is actually decent, and that's your friend, give them a chance to shine. Give them a chance to succeed, even if you're not there and ready for it. Give them a chance to be that next Washi, So.
You're saying like just bait ourselves for that person, like give them all the stats.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what you're saying.
I mean,
So from now on, I'm picking up Spervia, Orange,
Spervia.
Rim, the Legends.
All the Hall of
Unstoppable
Famers?
Bullets.
All the
Yo,
Hall of
yo,
Famers, dude. The Hall of Famers,
let me send you this shit too.
The Hall of
You
Famers,
gotta
dude.
see this shit. So
Wow.
Scorpio, man, a while ago, when I was doing Mobile Mayhem, one of his suggestions, because I asked for feedback from the teams on what to add, and ultimately we started to come around to the idea of the All Stars match, but we were talking with Sylvia still about it. It wasn't a thing yet, and Scorpio, we sent that feedback for him. Scorpio was like, he's like, you guys should do a halftime in the middle of the playoff, and I was like, okay, well, halftime seems really weird to just do that in the middle of a series, but like an all-star match seems like something you would do. And I was like, well, who would play in it? And then he goes, yeah, man, like you would just invite some of the like old legends. I'm like, legends? I'm like fucking confused. And I'm like, well, who are the legends that we would? And he legitimately wrote off him, Orange, Rim, and my exact response to him, none of those people are legends. Ah. Fuck. And we stopped talking.
Dude, your mic is dog
Yeah,
shit.
you're dying out, Zim. But that's all fine and dandy. We're kind of at the end of the show here. It was a weird week for NA. Short day on Tuesday. Short day here. I mean, super short day here today. I think this is like the worst Mobile Mayhem day that we've had since I started casting Mobile Mayhem. I was super disappointed, but I'm pretty much closed out. My disappointment with NA stands strong. I hope NA gets their shit together. And if you guys have anything to say before we close it out, you guys feel free. But other than that, I think I'm good.
No, I think that's it.
All right, sounds like that's it. So thanks guys for coming to the spawn. Sorry it was kind of a rag on NA kind of day, but that's just, I mean, that's what NA built for itself for this week. next week. Hopefully, we'll have a couple more teams show up to the plate. And, I appreciate you guys all coming through. Definitely keep an eye out because next week we'll be back for Mobile Mayhem at week 6. I believe Tuesday we'll be back on Bobby's channel. It was supposed to be today, but unfortunately his flight got delayed, so that's why it was on my channel again. And then we'll be back on my channel for Thursday. We'll have the EU spawn following the EU broadcast on Tuesday, and then NA at its normal time following the NA broadcast on Thursday. But that's it for us. Nero, thank you for joining. Zim, as always, pleasure to have you. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thank you.